Welcome everyone to today's Crypto and Stocks TA live stream. Today is October 15th, 2021, Friday. It's about 4:30 p.m. Eastern time here in the USA. And this will be the weekend stream for this week. So let's go ahead and start with crypto and then we'll end with stocks. So if anybody has a ticker request, go ahead and type that into the live chat box here. And we're going to start off with Bitcoin. So one thing I do want to note is that I have my ideas here in my profile. If you're following me, you could check out these ideas. And these are more longer term ideas, but they're coming true. Okay, so let's first go to my total crypto market cap idea. On October 10th, I was publishing this idea about resistance support and that we were testing this resistance line. Let's fast forward. What happened? Boom. We're still testing the resistance line. The whole market cap right here, this little green candle, right? It was edging up here and then boom, we get this big pop up to where 2.5 trillion. Okay. So if this pulled back down, that would have been bearish, obviously, and that the support was down here at 2 trillion. And if this pattern came true, this would have been pretty bad. If this double top pattern, this would be negative 30% down from the breakout, which would, basically crash the market. But that did not happen. And so the other flip side idea to this is that this could be viewed as an ascending triangle pattern, right? So high, low, and then try to break out to higher highs right here. So this ascending triangle pattern could have played out two ways. It could have pulled back down to about 2.1 trillion and then tighten up here and then try to break out, or just break out straight away. So this is why I pointed this out to people is, yes, we are at the resistance, but we might break out, because right here I said bullish scenario, we break out above 2.4 trillion, try to get past 2.5, 2.6 trillion. So right here, we broke out above 2.4 trillion right here the past 2 days and went up. You might be wondering, why did that happen? It's related to stock market earnings. We actually had a pretty good stock market earnings this week, the past week of banks, financial banks. And so that went pretty well and overall, generally, and Bitcoin hype and momentum continues up. All right, so just want to point that out there. This idea is here the whole time, okay? So we're still stuck in the resistance zone. We basically touched 2.6 trillion, but we need a really, really clear 2.6 trillion and keep going up way higher than that. All right, so now to Bitcoin, my idea. Why I want to show my ideas is these are longer term ideas. I'm not changing my analysis. I'm not flip-flopping all over the place. So on the Bitcoin chart, we are basically in an upward sloping channel / wedge on the daily chart. And so we have our support down here. We established that at 40,000. And I wanted to point out to people that this line was here for a long time. This trend line was here for over a year. It's penetrated once to downside, penetrated here, bouncing 2 times, and then we bounced off of that. Okay, so if we do proper technical analysis, longer term, I'm not talking about what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes from now, right? Because this is a 66% move from the bottom to the top right here. That's pretty good, right? That's 6 years of stock market average returns. We just got that in 2 weeks on Bitcoin. That's why people are going crazy on Bitcoin right now. All right, so fast forward. Okay, yeah, we hit the top of that trend line. So I drew this on October 10th. I've been drawing this for a while in the streams as a topside target. So it makes total sense, just making higher highs here, higher lows, and boom, right here, try to penetrate this to the top side. And again, 65,000 is our all-time high. It's our line in the sand. So I'm expecting us to touch 65,000. There's going to be a little bit of a battle there. Now, the issue is, will we clear this topside resistance line is the question. Okay, so just want to point that out to people that I'm publishing the longer term ideas for everybody for free. So if you just, for now. So like the longer term ideas. So, you know, you didn't have to like, you don't always have to day trade is what I'm trying to say. If somebody went long here on this, on September 30th stream, which I was saying there's an entry opportunity, basically 2 spots. And then if you're looking for where are the longer term swing traders looking for some kind of temporary exit, maybe here in this $65,000 range, upper 60s, K. And but hodlers, I'm sure are just they're just waiting. They're just, you know, laughing right now, having fun. So last thing I want to point out is my weekly Bitcoin chart for Bitcoin. I published this over a month ago. Over a month ago. And this is a weekly chart. We're talking about 10 years of data on the chart. This is like the ultimate Bitcoin chart for investing, right? So where's the target? The target is up once we clear 65,000. I don't know if you can see this. Once we clear the 65,000 range, which is where my mouse is wiggling right here, okay, then the top side target is 77 or 75,000, which is not impossible, or 80. So we just have to clear 65,000, make sure we don't pull back too far, and try to continue up on the weekly. Although, you know, whenever we have long-term large weekly moves up, there's usually a large consolidation up there somewhere. Okay, so we established a higher low on the weekly, and now we're trying to find where's the higher high, where's the peak of this mountain right now. All right, so I just want to show people those 3 ideas were there, and I gave the bullish and bearish scenario. If it goes down, it's going to do this. If it goes up, it's going to do this. These ideas have been here for a long time. So I just want to point that out to people that we don't always have to look at, you know, day trading. So also there's my S&P 500, NASDAQ, and DIA ideas, which we'll get to. Alrighty. So, you know, here's a fresh Bitcoin chart. Okay, we'll just close up Bitcoin right here. Again, daily chart is like home base. Daily chart is home base. Okay, so when I see this chart, this is how I'm going to chart it. I'm going to do it like this. Boom, just like that. Real easy, simple. I like using extended trend lines. And again, we are at the resistance kind of zone. Someone could draw, let me lower this. It's a horizontal line right here. So you see this breakout attempt, right? How did I draw these lines? For support and resistance, you need at least 2 touch points. So boom, 2. And then if you zoom down, I know it, if you angle it properly, it'll hit these ones down here too. But on the top here, why did I not choose the top? Because that's just 1 touch point, right? This touch point makes more sense. Is resistance, 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 support, resistance. So it hit multiple times right here. That's how I know. And then we have a breakout attempt right now. So the scenario that happens a lot of times with a breakout attempt is sometimes it breaks out, pulls back to establish support, retest, right? To make sure, is this for real? We're not going to crash. This is not some like FOMO hype stuff going on right now. And then, okay, it's real. Okay, here we go. Like that. So I know some experienced swing traders are waiting for that. At the same time, though, you want to watch out for a replay of this, just in case. Okay, I'm talking about bearish scenario now because everyone could obviously imagine a bullish scenario up. Bearish scenario is you get a fake out. What does a fake out look like? Okay, fake out looks like we poke up, boom, right? And again, it always happens. We're heading into a weekend, so we in a bearish scenario, you might get a DOGE candle, right, and start fading back down to test it, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be the retest of this spot. Keep in mind that next week we have some tech and travel earnings in the stock market. So we have Netflix earnings, Tesla earnings, Johnson & Johnson, and like American Express, I believe. There's like a whole bunch of companies next week. So we're in full swing stock earnings season, week 2. This is also why Bitcoin is going up, because there's a slight correlation with S&P 500. But since we have tech stocks coming up, you want to be a little more cautious. I'm not saying sell. I'm just saying just be cautious, right? Because we have a breakout. Breakouts sometimes fail, right? So we really, where's my volume? I'm on an empty chart. There we go. So just want to watch out, all right? Because if we get too excited, we get too overextended here, things can pull back. Now, what I want to point out before we move on is that, again, the H4 chart, 4-hour, we're in a total golden cross up cross. Okay, this EMA has been acting as support. If you don't use moving averages, right, you could just draw a trend line. You just draw a trend line, and we're still up, trending like this, right? But we're seeking a higher high. So bullish scenario is we just blow through 62, 3, 4, 5K, 65K. But a more realistic scenario would be either sideways consolidation at some point or a little bit of fading back down to approximately maybe like 60K. So 60K is our big psychological support number, 60 and 61. Okay, and then we will zoom in a little bit more. And so the H1 is still uptrending, but keep in mind, RSI, we're in the overbought territory. So at some point, it's going to top out a little bit temporarily. At some point, because how many times is it? It's like textbook RSI, right? You either go sideways or you come down. So if you look at this level, the RSI, whenever it gets to, let's see, on the H1, 80 to 90, so just 10 more points up. So maybe one more leg up before we consolidate to the side or down. It does not mean we're going to crash. That's not what that means. If it happens, that's great, because maybe that would be someone's like last minute opportunity to buy the retest here. This is a cool buying opportunity right here at 54, right, for a swing trade. But right now, floating in the air, this not the greatest spot to go long in this moment in time if someone's a swing trader. We go 15 minute, we go 5 minute. Again, getting a little overextended, but it could be that there's less liquidity right now. The market Asia session's opening about 3-4 hours from now. So there is a little bit of potential bearish momentum loss right here. So might want to just be careful of just a little bit of pullback. This might happen today. Yes, but 5 minute. 5 minute looks interesting though. But again, nothing is really low. For crypto, I mean, you want to, if you're trying to long, you never want to long like at the top, like this. That's why people get messed up, right? Because if someone's going to stare at the chart all day long, right? You're in the seat all day long. Either you got to set your alerts, or you got to do some kind of technical analysis to get a setup, right? Set your alert or buy orders, and then just manage that. But if someone's going to day trade, then they got to wait for there's proper setups. Like you got to wait for value, got to wait for discount. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Let's just flip through these charts really fast before we go to some other altcoins. Okay, like I want to just show people, you get a visual representation of, you just flip through all these charts. I'm gonna start with total. Okay, total. Maybe we'll put up like one EMA or something. Actually, we could do it no EMAs. So we're near the resistance zone. Just looking at the price. Let me add one indicator. Let me use pivots. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is, just for this stream, I'm gonna leave this on here so you could actually see what numbers I'm talking about. So pivot at 2.577 right here. These are too many numbers. Let me do something else. I just want to get these the high numbers so you can see what I'm talking about. So we have like a 2.577 right here. You see this? And so we're just kind of right there breaking through. All right. So really want to watch out for that. Because you have to think, I mean, it's highly unlikely right now the market's going to crash negative 50%, right? Something really bad has to happen for that to happen. Okay, so we might pull back to here, back down to 2. That would make sense if we're in a bearish scenario. So just kind of watch for that. I'm watching this very closely every day. Next, without Ethereum, total 2, same deal, less power. Total 3, just altcoins, a little more choppy, but still kind of getting stuck there at the resistance zone. All right. just the Bitcoin market cap itself. Very nice. You know, you want to watch out though, because what somebody was pointing out to me in the streams ago is watch out for a potential Elliott wave pattern. Right? It's a little dirty, but it's there. It's a little dirty. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if the 3 is longer, the longest wave. Yep. Yep. So this could be the fifth wave. Wherever we're here, right? Fifth wave right into 1.2 trillion Bitcoin market cap. Okay. So I'm just always a little bit cautious when everyone starts getting hyped up. And what Warren Buffett said, when people start getting really greedy, is when I should start wanting to back away from my trade. That doesn't mean sell everything I have. It just means, whoa, let's put the brakes. I'm going to start tapping on the brakes a little bit. Okay. Just mentally. Why? Because when you, right here, we had this 40% in the blue circle, 40% move, then almost, let's see here, this thing will snap properly. Negative 12% pullback, right? So from here to here is a 50% move, which is absolutely phenomenal. And if we do get a 10% pullback, that's all the way down here to support. So let's not forget that's possible. All right, futures. I want to point out here that the Bitcoin moves were really, really kind of perpetuated by futures. Okay, so futures trading. We cannot forget about futures. And I'm talking about Bitcoin futures trading in Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's the big money. It's the big money's play, right? So right here, just futures just plowing through these resistances, even through the gap resistance. We got stuck right here, this gap resistance a little bit, right above 60K. And just poking right into it. Okay, it's literally right at the almost like the exact same spot. So again, what I want to watch out for on futures are we going to get a double top? That would be not so good. Double top, that's a reversal signal. That would not be good. Or just a blow off top, that would not be good either, meaning like a V mountain. Okay, so we want to watch out for these types of things. But we're on the left side of the pattern that's forming, right? We're like on this side. We're like here right now. Okay, so if you're talking short term, it's just kind of watch out. You could do this. That would be bad. You could do this. Pull back and do that, right? So just kind of want to watch out for that. But when you just go straight up, there's always higher risk that you could pull back down a little bit at least. And why am I looking at all this stuff? Because it's really important to get well-rounded of who are the players in the market. It's not just about, retail people. It's not just that. It's wherever the money is being made, that's where the big money is going to go, the money flow. And people too. So I'll show you, I'll explain that with like SHIB coin, what happened with SHIB. So the perpetual futures contract, very similar setup. Keep in mind too, a Bitcoin dominance, we had a double bottom on dominance on September 12th, and boom, right? This is why Bitcoin is taking the lead right now, because you have a dominance double bottom. All right, so let's we got a request here. I'm just gonna do one of these. I'm gonna do Atom USDT. Okay, first off on Atom USDT, we have support ranges right here at that 32.32. This is how I draw it. So again, it's turning into a large bull flag here. So on the daily. So let's just draw this right here. All right, tightening range. Just tightening here right above $30. We'll mark it in gray. And the resistance 35.68. So to understand what might happen with Atom, given the context of Bitcoin, is we move in to our H4 and our H1 just to see what's going on here. So in the H4, we are in a definite downtrend. There was an upside down head and shoulder setup. but then turned to a head and shoulder setup, and now it's stuck here. So it's reversing on itself. Baby uptrend here on the H1. So it's possible we could just pump up a little bit to hit 35 right here. Momentum does confirm that that could happen on an H1, but H1 you need a large stop loss. Like I was day trading and I was trading stocks and crypto this week. I had a pretty good week. So if you're trying to go long, again, you want to try to get the lowest price possible to give yourself protection. Meaning, and you have to correlate it with Bitcoin too. But if you're just gonna like pick something randomly, like in this random moment of time, right? Is you got to have a large stop loss and for crypto, you can't just have like a 1% stop loss, right? For swing trading. So the lower candle is down here, right? 30. So if this is an uptrend, you could also draw this trend line like here, but see it's under that trend line, which is why I'm cautious. Okay, it could reject. It's below the EMAs as well. So if somebody's gonna buy this right now, you need to have a large stop loss and have a larger target. If that's too large, then at least the below of this candle wick here, which is like a 5% stop loss. So there's momentum building, but you might have to wait for that. But again, it's not the lowest spot. The lowest spot was overnight in the European session at 32. So again, it's not the lowest spot of value right now. Although the 5-minute is trying to turn into an uptrend, but we need follow through on that. I wouldn't be surprised if Atom eventually in a couple days or in a day just popped up 4%. It's possible. Okay, we have Forex request. We have pound yen, GBP, APR. Actually, let's bring up my Forex list. I have this one on the list. Use forex.com. All right, so this one's a fresh chart for us here on the stream. So what I'm going to do is start the monthly. Let me just make sure I have all my data first. Check the Wanda chart. There's a little bit more data on the Wanda. I'll just use the Wanda. All right, so I'm on a monthly chart, and here we go. We're gonna look at boom right there, trend line, monthly trend line. Okay, so just want to watch out for that. So on a monthly, we're at monthly resistance zone. Okay, so now that we have that figured out of the way, it could be viewed in two ways. So we'll start with the bullish scenario because it's already in a bullish momentum. What we want to watch out for is we look left for our resistance zone. So on the weekly, I'll set it right here at 161. There's a resistance right above where we are right now, 157.14. And then the larger support to the downside is at 153 or 149. So this is a good sign because this could have been a bearish pattern, but everything's having a reaction. Everything's having a positive reaction to earnings right now. All right, so you got to give me a little more information if you're long or short, or if you're a day trader. But I'll try to zoom in as much as possible. So daily, yes, we are uptrending. And again, this is some longer term consolidation pattern. When you do this and you do this, right, there's a chance for a little bounce. Okay, so if somebody's long, end of September was a great spot because you had a triple bottom in the price. Even on a daily, like I don't need to look, I don't even need to look intraday. Just boom, there's massive support right here. Okay, so there's two signals right there. Also, once you have the breaking of this trend line, that's what gets the bulls going up. Okay, so day trade, we're 4-hour uptrend, 1-hour uptrend. Okay, now let's get into 15-minute, 5-minute, probably where we're at. So we have a big extended move up. All right, so if somebody's trying to long this right now, you got to get deeper value. You got to get deeper value than this, or else it could, pull back down on you. But if somebody's trying to short, maybe there could be an entry here, although there is a little bit of bullish momentum on this right now. The better place to have tried to execute a short would have been right here at the top of resistance. 15-minute resistance right here, 157. That's why everyone shorted this down right to here. But on a 5, if you look right here on the MACD on the bottom, it is building. So you want to watch out for that. The 5-minute already bounced, right? So the shorts here, they're already done this morning. So boom, down to here from 157 down to 156.95, and they're covering their shorts right now. Right, so I'm not really going to look at 1 minute, 2 minute, but the fact though that it's overextended like this is how I would draw it. Put a Fibonacci up, and then try to watch for the break of support. So the next place somebody could try to short was like 157, right? This blue line, you can see here, there's a support line right at the blue line. So if this top trend line fails, maybe we'll rally to here somewhere, because it's a 5-minute upside down head and shoulders. That's why it's building momentum to go up right now. So we need to wait for the next resistance rejection. Okay. Next resistance rejection. So I just drew, you could see, you can draw the triangle right here. All right. So here is not the best place. Here is not the best place to short in the yellow because you're at a support level. Okay. If someone's trying to short, you want to short a resistance up here, a rejection. So you can see it. It hits the resistance, and then the bulls try to push it up, and shorts say nope, and then they short it down and make their profit. Same thing here, right? It's just being patient to wait for it here if you're going to short, or somewhere, wherever it's going to stop, you'll see it. But the fact that this is happening here is this a long setup. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. My chart for BTC. Well, see, okay, I'll show it, but I want to also remind people that this is why I print my ideas, so that you can just look at it whenever you need it, or whenever you want to like compare your TA, or if you need TA, right? My ideas are here: a total crypto market cap, Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin weekly, long term, and also I have stock market. But if you want to go back to Bitcoin for some reason, this is the chart on the daily as a longer term swing trader, investor type of person. Okay, so if I were to turn everything off for a second, erase everything. Okay, when you have a fresh chart like this, I guess you're wondering, like, you just want to see. Okay, again, first thing you got to do is, if you open a chart and you look at it like this, it's okay to look in the past right here, right? This is not, I'm not going to tell people financial advice. This is a free stream. So it's just technical analysis. It's not about, am I shorting or am I longing, right? It's not about copying me and my trades. It's more about the technical analysis. What are the facts? What is the truth? And again, I'm not saying this just to one person. It's, where are we in the price right now? Is this a support or is it resistance? Is the question we should be asking ourselves, right? So it is resistance here at 64, 61.4, and 60. Excuse me, not 60. We're above 60. But 61.5 and 63.5. Okay, so that's the immediate resistance and support levels, and the 65 up here. All right, so I kind of explained this in the beginning, but we're literally right in the resistance zone. Okay, so on my idea, I draw it like that. So if we're not going to break 65,000 with confidence and a lot of bull volume next week or next month or this month, right, you want to watch out for a possible pullback. Okay, and then you draw your trend lines too. And again, this is all in my idea. You don't really need me to explain it. Is somebody could, if they're a bull, they could view this as an ascending triangle pattern. that's something like people need to know is it could be an ascending triangle pattern. But sometimes ascending triangle patterns, they don't finish the breakout. They fail in the breakouts. You want to just watch out for that, right? If you fail, then you pull back. Okay, that's something you just have to study and learn and know for yourself. Like, what are the patterns? And then this is why TradingView helps. Is this is where you need to zoom back in time, okay, and then draw it for yourself and practice, right? Like where. Let me find an example. Here's one in 2019. Okay, I just know this one because I charted so many times. Right, this is a ascending triangle pattern. Boom, boom, like that. You see how that works? Okay, so that is technical analysis pattern. If you just study and memorize it, and draw it on every single day chart you can find, you'll get better at it, right? So it's this definition of ascending triangle. You have a horizontal line, and then a like a increasing line, okay, and then the price just does whatever it wants inside here. Usually bundles up, tightens up, and then boom. Right, but the fact that we're on Bitcoin is doing this right now is like, it's a little sus, a little suspicious, right? Because on this ascending triangle, it actually failed and pulled back for quite a while. It's like we're like right here right now. I'm not saying we're gonna pull back. It's just the green candle. Okay, so we zoom back in right now, and you literally see it happening on a larger scale. Is we're just right here poking into the resistance right now. So that's what I'm saying is, don't be surprised if 5 days from now, or a week from now, we pull back a little bit. We could pull like all the way down to 53K and still be fine in this pattern, right? 53 and then bounce up to 62, 58, and then finally break out here for whatever reason. Okay, but I don't like to forecast out that far because nobody really exactly 100% knows exactly what's going to happen. It's just that would be textbook, but what's also textbook is a textbook breakout. Sometimes you break out through the resistance, pull back at least once, and then continue up. How do I know this? That's just knowledge. And in Netflix, the exact same thing happened. Okay, so this is a parallel channel, and one of our members brought this to my attention. Right, see, I'm circling it right there. What happens? You break out, you pull back to test the support, and then you break up. Okay, so this is possible. Okay, this is possible, right? Oh, I shouldn't show this. Don't copy this. But the short position. But let me see. You might have one bounce up, right? Like that. But again, on the left side here, you could see the exact failure reversal. So it could pump up and then pull back. See that? You poke out and then like, it's not going to work. Okay, never mind. And then pull back down. So wherever the resistance point, that becomes the inflection point, meaning that's like the battleground. Bears, they're waiting. You have to realize bears are waiting, okay, to attack. So from a psychological standpoint, we have to watch out for, remember, we are in the boxing ring on a global scale as traders. So I said this in my last stream. Okay, I said this in my last stream, is that we are in the boxing ring with who? Hedge funds, institutions, algorithms, trading robots, whales, people who bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, 5 years ago, right? So, if somebody just got into Bitcoin like this year, I'm just saying, just be a little cautious. And all I do is listen to the chart and the indicator. Someone's saying, bring up to my attention, RSI is overbought. It's in the overbought zone. That's true. Like I was saying in the beginning of this stream, it is in the overbought zone, right? Weekly is not overbought. Okay, so somebody's saying on YouTube RSI, but the weekly is not overbought. The daily just went to overbought zone, but there's no reversal signal yet on the daily. It's just in the overbought zone. Oh yes, definitely. Technical analysis is not 100% um, always perfect, because if that was true, we would just make money on every single trade. So, it depends on what strategy you're using, but these patterns, they do have a certain percentage win rate on average if you study them, right? Indicators too, right? If you back test here, which I'm getting off track now, but if you back test here in the strategy tester on your whatever asset you're trying to trade, you'll find out the answer for yourself that indicators, TA, technical analysis, never 100%. Um, is never 100% um, accurate or perfect. For me, I view it like this. It's getting a little educational. I view it like how can I draw this? Like uh, I don't know. Like just scales. Okay, I'll just draw two circles. Okay, and so you have your bull scale on the left side, and you have your bear scale on the right side. So you want to just watch out for it's like which ways are the scales tipping. That's how I like to think of it. And that's what one of my mentors taught me. She was a pro, just in your hands, right? Just it's like you're putting two stones on a scale. Is it going to go left? Is it going to go right? Is it going to go bull? Is it going to go bear? So just a little bit of momentum in either direction can tip the scales in the favor of the bulls or the bears, right? If this starts like this, right, you get a little bit more momentum pulling down on the weight pulling down on the bullish side. It's like, oh, we're going to go up. And then once you get a little bit more power on the bear side, right, then we'll go down. Okay, that was like a very crude drawing, but I hope you understand is that it's supply and demand. Okay, this is another way to view TA, technical analysis of the market. This is how I always avoid, not always, but most of the time I avoid major disaster points. Like I remember I sold all my coins here in this range. How did I know that? Because it's a resistance and people are having massive hype on the internet and it's just getting out of hand. Like people are saying Bitcoin 500,000 K, Dogecoin $3 and screaming with all the frog memes in the Discord. Not in my Discord, but in other people's Discord. And I was like, thinking, okay, we're getting a little too greedy, basically. So I sold all my coins there. I took all my profit. It was the right decision to make, right? So I had cash capital get back down here and back down here as well. Start trading right here. So that's using TA to do that, right? And then sentiment as well. Just having a lot of experience in the market is when people kind of go berserk with their price targets, that's trouble, right? So that's why I'm being a little bit yellow flag here until I get some more concrete evidence of a direction. Just want to make sure though, a reminder to everyone is yes, 4 hours still in the up cross. So until this down crosses, we're nothing really to be scared about. It could pull back down, but it's not going to do this. Okay. If we have like global catastrophe, it'll do that, but probably not. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. And I think that'll be a good, I think, question. Do I use time analysis or at a certain PA? What does PA mean in time? Time analysis, not so much. But I think what is important for people to realize is that this is just having knowledge in the market is that the third week of every week, trading week, is options expiration. So what day is it today? It's the third Friday of October. So for such a price action, okay, I see what you mean. But so today's the third Friday in October, and this is why Bitcoin went psychotic today, right? You have Bitcoin options expiration plus trading. So if you actually go in and study the charts on a calendar, the third week is when you start getting some volatility in this market. That's just something you know by studying the knowledge and experience. Okay, so like on the chart, it's not going to tell you the Bitcoin option is expiring. You just have to know that, and that comes from experience being a trader. The calendar rules the market. I don't think people understand. Because like earnings season, why are we going so crazy with Bitcoin these days? In the past couple of days, week is earnings season in stocks has a effect on the market, and then Bitcoin's options expiration has a definite volatility effect on the market. But to answer your question, I don't use time analysis in the explicit sense, meaning that oh, if it doesn't go up after 7 days, I'm gonna it's gonna come down. Not really. I just trade price because that's what TA is. It's the analysis of price and volume. Time, you kind of have to time. You could because on the here there is a Fibonacci time. Where is it? Trend base right here. Fibonacci time or Fibonacci time zone. I don't really use this thing. People do, but I don't. I never found a strong use for that. But I know there's the other traders who use like GAN, use the GAN box, or they use GAN square. But for me, I just use the tools that I know like works well on like every asset. That's why I don't use every single tool on the left side. Although I do encourage people to try them all because I tried all of these before many, many times on Bitcoin. So that's why I know it works. I know it doesn't work for myself and the strategies that I'm trying to do. Yeah. Okay. One thing I wanted to point out because we'll do some requests. I'm kind of getting the little too much education, but I think though that if we're looking at ascending triangles, well, let's try to find a descending triangle once. I have spot one right here at the top of summer of August 2019. How do I find that so fast? Right here, just boom. Visual triangle right there in the yellow. Okay. So this is a descending triangle pattern on the daily is powerful. And then what happens is I'm watching for the breakdown of support right here. On the ascending triangle, on the ascending triangle right here, you see it's the break resistance. Okay, break of resistance. On the descending triangle, you watch for the breakdown of support. So these patterns, if you watch other streams, a lot of people are drawing these patterns. You gotta memorize them. You can make money off these, right? Because how would you know without drawing patterns and without using indicators? Here's the buy signal and here's the sell signal if you're using these two patterns. That's pretty good trading here. That was like 130% if you use those two signals. Although it takes a lot of discipline and patience to wait for it, right? After that. Okay, we'll do one more question and then we'll do some analysis. We have a request for Sandy, so we'll do that one. How do I see Bitcoin react to ETF? We want to watch out because the price action is pricing in the ETF right now. Okay, so this is getting too advanced, but the stock market is a forward-looking device. If you've worked in a corporation enough, if you worked in a business enough, global business, they're always talking about that. We're forward-looking. We're moving at the speed of business. So in stocks and trading and investing, there's that saying, you buy the rumor and you sell the news. Buy the rumor and you sell the news, right? So most beginners don't understand that. You have to realize that you buy the rumor of El Salvador legalizing Bitcoin, and then you sell the news, right, when it's official. Okay, it's just the way the market works. Bitcoin ETF is starting to get talking again, and Bitcoin is legalized in America. Or they said they're not going to ban Bitcoin. That's buying that rumor, right? When he started saying that stuff, that's what stopped the market from crashing right here. And then once we get an ETF approval at some point in the future, you might see a sell-off there. Okay, that might not be the time to go long because it's too late. Right, that's how the market works. So that's a very important concept. That's not technical analysis. Buy the rumor and sell the news. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. And traders get wrecked because they're on the wrong side of those trades. All right, so let's do Annie. Oh, you're talking about Sphere. Okay. Yeah, I traded this. I made money on this week. Day trading this. Okay. Look like Sandy from far away. All right, so ANY. ANY. We're looking at stock right now. ANY. All right, so this is kind of like, to me, this is kind of like a meme stock. But what we're going to do is on a monthly, this is what I would do. Just get some like, and I know people are going crazy about this. All right, but let's just focus on the TA. For a monthly, this is why we went up. You have this big pattern right here. Big pattern. If you know your chart pattern. So the target, everyone was saying, is supposed to be $15 for this 350% breakout. If it happens, or 400%, right? So 400%, 60.3, right? So, and if we go 2 times the breakout, which could happen on a meme stock, might be 800%. So 28.84 or $30 psychological, right? Everyone's saying $30 target, but it's going to take some time to get there, right? So on a weekly, we do see there was this bearish pattern right here, the double top. That's why we pulled back, but then we found a support. And so again, this is very interesting concept of support and resistance. Okay, let me draw right here. We have resistance at 379, support at $1.34, and boom, you have your trend line. So again, this was another ascending triangle pattern right here. So you could draw that. It's on a weekly. Somebody could have drawn that. This reminds me of Bitcoin a little bit, right? You test it, pull back, test it at the double top, pull back for support, and then you break through. And so here again, you see the classic breakouts pattern. Poke out, pull back, and you're up. Also, there's upside down head and shoulders here. So there's like multiple signals for somebody to try to buy this thing. So the immediate target, 100%, we went almost 2 times that target. Actually, we did go 2 times that target. So the head and shoulders to me is completed. Now it's just a matter of, will the price hold up on this trend line here? And right there. So on the day chart, I'm going to bring up the EMA to act as our support. It's up crossed, and it's still in an uptrend on ANY. We had the bullish momentum on the MACD histogram, and just in that resistance zone. So this particular candle wick right here, the shooting star, this is our resistance level. $12, $11, $10 right here. So if we don't break that to the upside, that could become a problem for ANY. There is room. It's not super overbought. So there's room for one more pop on this thing. But I would be a little cautious right now. It's a NASDAQ stock. So this is that pattern is trying to do this. It won't always complete though. So we're going to watch out for that. H4 still in an uptrend. Very nice. H4. The blue MA is my 20 EMA. Okay, so just to explain to people, it's just a color system that I don't know, just works for me. Is on my EMAs, my exponential moving averages. The blue line is my 20 EMA. 50 is yellow is 50, orange is 100, and red is 200. Those are the classic, the 4 EMA numbers, and they're useful. Okay, so on H1, a little choppy, you know, it hasn't crashed back down. So I'll give 2 scenarios for ANY. If we lose this yellow trend line or this blue trend line, okay, EMA, I mean, that's just look it up on TradingView at this point, right? If you don't know what EMA is and you're trying to trade, like EMA, moving average is like a core indicator of TA. Okay, but the general definition of a moving average, general in layman's terms, is it's taking the average of the price over a certain period of time, and then it's plotting it on the line, and it's a lagging indicator, right? So EMA moving averages are going to be your best friend. You should look it up on TradingView. Okay, there's tons of educational articles on moving averages in the educational section on TradingView. There's articles about it, and then there's Google. Okay, so you just want to watch for this trend line right here. Yes, it's near support, so support needs to hold. Um, support needs to hold. If it doesn't, this could be an interesting spot of value if it crashes down to like 680 or so down here, right? Because you got momentum building. Um, yeah, H4 though, there's a bearish signal here. You have a head and shoulders on the MACD histogram, so this thing might pull back actually. It's how we're building a case right now. Thesis is all right. We're near this upward resistance line. Okay, it's been struggling there at the 840 range for a couple sessions now. Actually, for like 5 days, 4 days, and our RSI is losing a little bit of momentum. Okay, so what it seems like AMY wants to do is pull back once, reset on the technicals, and then go up again. That's what it feels like. It doesn't always have to play out like that because it could just on Monday just boom shoot up to $10, but it's really subtle. But it is losing a little bit of momentum. But it's probably because there are other day trading stocks today. So hopefully that makes sense for you. Okay. And just a quick side note. I mean, TradingView is great because you have on the homepage you have educational articles, ideas, streams, um, watch lists, and all the stuff like that. Like a couple years ago, there was none of that. So if you're starting right now, you have a great opportunity. Is I encourage you guys, everyone here, is just try to study as much as possible. Right? Nobody wants to hear that. That's like nobody. I'm just trying to tell people like how to get better. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear that though. But that's the point. Is that how are you going to get a leg up? How are you going to be better than other traders in the world? Right? You gotta get that knowledge. Get that knowledge. Okay, so this person's holding ANY over the weekend. Yeah. Okay, so that's swing trading. You have to think of it too. Investors, they're gonna hold every day through the good and the bad. So, if you're a swing trader, then you just have to figure out this is a good segue into risk management for education before we move on. Is you know, ANY is a stock you probably do not want to be all in with your money. Okay, because it is a much smaller company, less liquidity. It's not Apple, right? It's not a Tesla. It's not Amazon, right? It's not a big top 10 FANG company stock. So this is like a meme trade to me. This is like a swing trade based off of that initial pattern, the two patterns, month and week, right? So let's just pretend I went long today. Let's pretend I went long with $10,000 or $1,000, for example, right? Then you have to figure out, okay, what's my maximum loss here? Well, if we pull back all the way down to support, that could be negative 30%, or negative 25%, right? So in your mind, in your bank account, in your trading account, you have to be willing to put on that risk or take that risk. Because if we know there could be negative 10% to negative 20% downside on this thing, then right here is not a good spot to all in. Because if it pulls back down, you're gonna have a mental, um, emotional breakdown. I mean, meaning that someone will panic sell, right? But if your investor is different, okay, there's also earnings on this thing in 1 month from now. So with these types of stocks, you just have to basically you gotta kind of have diamond hands, right? Wherever you bought in this thing, hopefully you didn't buy too high. Is that you gotta have to hold it, right? And you have to figure out your maximum dollar loss and maximum percentage loss, and then commit to that 100%. Commit to it 100%. Right? You don't want to be a bag holder, for example, and let this happen to you and be like, oh, it's gonna come up, it's gonna come up, it's gonna come up, it's gonna come up, right? And you lost all your money, right? So you don't want to be a bag holder in anything, right? If you're a swing trader, stop loss is absolutely essential. And then buying at the right spot is absolutely essential as well. So we're just hoping as a bull, you're trying to hope for this, hope for that, right? So your line in the sand is like 555. If you lose this blue line here, like the price does this and just folds over, then you have a problem. Then I would be looking to long ANY somewhere way down here. Once it pulls back, like somewhere like right here, 350's value, 265's value. But that's an example. And then if it happens to go up, then you have to move your stop loss up, right? You can't leave it down here at negative 30% stop loss. If the price goes up like that, you move your stop loss up to 0 or move it up to like plus 20% or plus 10. So you lock in, you're going to start trying to lock in some profit at some point. Yes. You have to know all the players in the market because when you get a small little red pullback right here, these are day. So like right here, this is a day trade pump and this is a day trade um, blow off top, and then the short day traders are coming in here, and then the swing traders are going to buy right here on the support, and then institution might buy here as well, load up on the position, algo is buying there, and then boom here, then everyone sells right here. Day traders trying to get this one last day of trading, and then we sell off, and shorts taking back over, pulling back to support in the cycle, rinse and repeat. So right here, this is a very day tradable stock. I day traded ANY, right? I'm not swing trading ANY. But, the fact we're still in an up cross, so nothing to really panic about. But, just understand that if it pulls back, somebody's going to buy it there, right? You just want to buy it at a place of value. Value. The ultimate no FOMO play, which, it's hard to find these kind of stocks, but, the ANY hype kind of started like here. So everyone always knew the target was like $30 or $15 over here. We almost got there. So ANY is not done. It just depends on what time frame you're on. All right, I'm going really slow today. Doge USDT. All right, Doge. All right, after this one, I'm gonna go really fast. I've been spending way too much time on each question. So, um, Doge. First thing, where's our resistance? Where are we right now? Where are we right now with Doge? We're at 23 cents. 2371. So immediate resistance at 25558. Immediate support at 1946. So we get those going down first. Then we get our trend lines. Boom, right there. And trend line, another one right there. Symmetrical triangle pattern for anybody who knows technical analysis in the yellow lines. So move on Doge could be 25% to 100%, long term 400%, but it's going to be 20 to 100%. So average 60% long term from a breakout spot, which top side target 33 cents, which we said on last stream, and the pullback 33 cents, 14. Okay. Now the intermediate targets is what I would zoom in for just on the price here in crypto. You kind of have to use indicators. Interesting pullback. What I was noticing on Dogecoin is, possible upside down head and shoulders right here, possible. Because I think there's sympathy here with Shiba Inu coin. Is that Doge is kind of, it's rumbling the momentum, or the hype, I should say. So if that turns out to be true, that's plus 9% play, so like a 26 cents target on Doge on the top side. And if it fails, going down 20 cents. So if we really zoom in on the price here, it is getting stuck right at this resistance. It needs to break the neckline right here at 24 cents. We do have a little small intermediate pattern here. So it's in its own little channel or wedge, just like Bitcoin. So Doge is actually fairly correlated with Bitcoin, according to this chart. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back down to upper 23 cent, like that. There's momentum. It's fading slightly, possibly because we're in the weekend. 15-minute is trying to upcross. Yes, but if somebody has a call like that, like if you think SHIB's going down and you think Doge is going up, from my experience, you have to confirm it with technical TA evidence. That's what separates, I would say, like someone starting out from, um, I would just say like a more experienced trader. Because if you do the TA, let's do that back to back, Dogecoin and SHIB, because with TA you can actually get your targets and you have the reason why you hit that target, right? So if someone is going to believe in this H1 upside down head and shoulders over time, then we measure when we get our 10% target. That's how we get our 10% to the top side. Okay, but in the very short term of Doge, it looks like it wants to pull back down. Actually, like a 15-minute, 5-minute. It's not super oversold, so kind of want to wait for that. And again, in the trend line, you could see it here, the 50% range of this price move. If you baby Fibonacci this, right there at 23.34 or 23.16. Could be interesting spots of relative value for Doge. If it ever pulls back down to right here, right, the EMA, one of these EMAs, could be an interesting spot. Okay, and then let's go to SHIB. So we go to Shibu Inu on Binance. I traded that, made some money this week. Nice. But I do, hold on, let me just on my alerts. All right, so the problem with Shibu Inu is that it got overextended quite a bit to the upside. Okay, this thing already went up like 200, 300%, and it's fading back down. You can see it on the daily, the momentum is being lost on the MACD. If you zoom in, right, this pattern failed on the price. This is why um, you have to do some technical analysis, right? Because in a symmetrical triangle like this, it's totally measurable. I know it's going to go up or down a certain plus or minus percentage. If I could, this thing will lock. 20%, boom, right? Almost exactly 20% to the downside. All right. So again, with technical evidence, this is what's going to set you apart from like a beginner amateur is if you use all the tools available to you in TA, right? So support, resistance, trend, momentum, sentiment is, and then we draw this, right? We know that there's a support here at 2530. We know there's support right here at 2149. We know there's resistance 2764, 3000, 3158, and 3400, like that. And on the day chart, this thing, I mean, on the H4, this thing is downtrending, just made that lower high. So it totally makes sense if we try to pull back down one more time to upper 2200s. Also, another way to check this retracement you could use for the Fibonacci tool is wonderful. And you can see here, we are inflecting, we are flipping around on the 618 zone, and we just touched the 786. That was a nice spot of value for a day trade, 8% over the past 2 days. But if we pull back down, I will be looking at 2286 right here, because that's a real support level or a full retracement down to 2135. Another way to do this is just wait for, if someone's trying to long this thing, just wait for the lowest price possible in your times, in your, your session. because it happened today overnight at 6 a.m. Eastern time. So what is that? That's Wall Street. That's New York. That's Chicago, right? Plus European traders and Asian traders, right? But that's it. That's the American session. So right there, somebody could have had this trade. It's hard to time it though. If you're a day trader, you have to wait for a long time or set your alerts. But what I'm saying is 15 minute, you hit a downtrend, boom, out of here. You lost the support level. So once you lose support level, again, descending triangle pattern, you can keep drawing this as many times you find it. Descending triangle pattern, you lose the support, game over for that trade. Then, once you get oversold down, boom, I would execute a trade right there. You got support, you got candlestick patterns, you have oscillators all telling you, flashing, maybe you might want to buy there. So, boom, would buy there and sell where? At the previous support level. This is TA. So it takes discipline to not, and it's actually crashing back down to support, right? So you got to kind of put in some what I call sweat equity. You got to put in the manual work of charting, and unless somebody's like a scalper or something, right? If you're looking at like a 1 minute, which I don't recommend, because it still works, right? Even if someone's a scalper, like I used to be a scalper a long time ago, you're still in the descending channel of Shibu Inu, the descending channel. We did have this nice pump today at like 11. So the end of the New York session, SHIB on a 1 minute pumped 10%. Nice. Why? Why that happened? It's always the question, why? Because we had a resistance and trend line breakout right there. Boom, breakout, double bottom support, trend reversal, breakout signal. The bots and the algos pick up on it. Day traders, scanners, alerts. Anybody who shorted here on futures getting destroyed, right? Liquidated, and yeah, blow off top. And then the shorts. Where do we go to? This exact 50% retracement resistance, right? This is all connected, right? So you use all the tools from TA and such to help you in your trading. It doesn't have to be hard. You just have to find it in your session and put in like some work. So to me, it's kind of like, to me, investing is like, it feels more like fishing. Once you do all the due diligence of analyzing company, like stocks, fundamentals, and numbers and charts, then you buy at a good spot and then you just let go emotionally, right? But if you're a day trader, you gotta put in some serious energy into it, right? You can't just sit here on the chart and on an empty chart and be like, I want to make money today, and that's not how the market works, right? You got to have some real strategy, process, and skills. So if you're a beginner, I do not recommend starting on shorter time frames. Start on a day chart, because on a day chart, I was telling that one guy that there's like 10 people on that one stream. I was saying if it breaks 900, we're going up 100%. I was saying it right there. Once you break 900, 950, we're going up like a lot. Okay, and then everyone started asking me on the stream when we're 200% up here. So the last thing I'll say about SHIB is just Fibonacci this bad boy. Okay, Fibonacci, and you understand where are the downside targets. I'm looking to take a, if you want interesting long position, right? This is not the bottom of SHIB, right? I'm looking here. I'm looking at 1634. I'm looking at because it bounced off the 382. That's where you're getting a larger move on this H4. Okay, so you see how the Fibonacci supports are coming into play. And let me just end it here. Draw this one more time, and with Fibonacci supports, you get the target. So the target I'm going to use this 40% to downside. I wouldn't be surprised if that's right into a Fibonacci zone. Wow. Exactly. 1625, right? Could be your for an interesting. Yeah, 16, 17, right? If it ever gets down there. So that's why having patience. I remember on the first stream of last week or something, 1 week ago, I was saying somebody could try to buy right here, and then what happened? If somebody did that educationally, right, they would have made money. So once we lose this, if this does not reverse up, SHIB is in trouble. Okay, the too long didn't read is if we do not uptrend continuation on Shiba Inu with bull volume, there is no bull volume. There's a problem here. If we start fading back down, I want my value, I want my discount on SHIB to be so deep. I want people to be panicking on SHIB and throwing their computers out the window because they're lost so much money, and that's where all the experienced traders are going to come in and say, we buy. Okay? Because again, the market is a battle. The market's a battle between the buyers and the sellers, the bulls and the bears, the humans and the robots, the AI, the algorithms. So to win, you have to have some kind of pre-plan of action and of technical analysis. All right. Let's look at, someone's asking me about QTUM. QTUM. First, the liquidity on QTUM is much less than other coins. Okay, so QTUM is not the same. So what I have to say is altcoins, they're all not the same. Okay, you have to realize that the volume of QTUM is nowhere near the market cap volume of Bitcoin. Just have to like really remind people of that. We want to make sure we have the right chart. So I'm going to see if you just use the Binance chart, it's not really all the data. I'm going to use, let's use a HUOB, right? Because you have this is very important on the left side. All right, QTUM. There was a much better monthly longer target. Let me see, measure this. That pattern's over. Okay. Somebody might argue weekly is like, is it a cup and handle? Okay, maybe. All right, let's just pretend it is. If it is, all right, this thing would be have an insane run. Okay, but this, we don't want to get hyped about that too much. Right. That's the mega bull pattern, but I'm not going to call that one because it's a little too far-fetched for the short term. But in the daily chart, again, our support and resistance at 16 bucks. Media support at 1181. Support at 9. Let me bring up my pivots. There we go. There you go. So now you can actually see what I'm talking about. So $17 up here is resistance. I want to start using this on stream so people can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. So we actually have the recent high and the low. So you're playing between these numbers and trend line on the bottom side and trend line on the top side. So QTUM right now is at resistance. Head and shoulders resistance on a daily. I would watch out for QTUM. 9% to the downside will bring us to 1154. 18% to downside, double the target, would bring us down to 1041. If this is the relative top, this head and shoulders pattern, this is why we have to study technical analysis. This is a bearish pattern right here. It doesn't always have to be like that. We have to have a strong breakdown of support and follow through for that thing to crash. Okay, you can also get Fibonacci targets up here, which is more or less the same of what I drew there. So again, in this tightening symmetrical triangle, equilibrium, it's happening again, right? So 1080 might be a better spot of value. Longing right now is 20% to the downside risk on a longer term scale, right? Versus if you just wait or set alerts or set your order down here, then it's half the risk. Just want to point that out to people. And then you have almost double the upside, so it's just a better spot down there. But again, you saw what happened with Doge. Is this what happened with Doge? I drew that. I said these are the two spots, but we lost the support, retested, and failed, and went to the downside. So just because I say it might stop there is not the bottom. It's not the most bottom price of whatever asset we're looking at. Good question. Pivot point tool, pivots. Yeah. So this is just, if you use Forex, I mean, you got to use pivots. Yeah. Those numbers on the high lows. Yeah. It's pivot HL. It's pivots high low. So, it's a very common indicator used. It's no secret. Pivots is no secret, right? You have pivot standard, pivots high low. If you use Forex, boom, you're like pivots are your best friend, right? But I don't leave it on the screen. It's just too messy. But pivots are good. So here you can see the pivot point, and it's mathematically calculated, right? If we lose $12, there's a big problem here on QTUM. Okay, so it could pull back down. We might see the first test at $12 support. So it's a whole number. It's a previous support level. There's like so many things happening. It's a whole number, $12, a previous support level. It's also a pivot point. Okay, so that's going to be a big battle that's happening there at 12. But the liquidity of QTUM, if Bitcoin goes down, QTUM is going down. But I like to use pivots HL just so when I'm talking on the chart, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it helps too when you're trying to trade just to get some like numbers. Because if you look at a chart like that, you kind of don't know the numbers, right? You have to put your mouse on it. So that's why I like pivots, just easier. And you can look up how pivots are calculated on TradingView or Google. But it's, it's not a buy sell signal tool. It just marks the number. And I customized it. I just like white text, so it's easy on the black chart background. Really nice. I like pivots. Okay, what do we got here? All right, so we went 1 hour, kind of slow. A lot of questions because a lot of people have a lot of questions, education. But I'm gonna pick up the speed here in this last hour. Okay, I'm just gonna rapid fire do as many coins as I can. I'm gonna go really fast right now, okay? I'm just gonna go like rapid fire. So Ethereum, resistance at 3969. I already drew it. 3969 and 4000, okay? So Ethereum has the same kind of setup here, is ascending triangle pattern. We either break out and retest and go up, or we don't, we pull back down to 3339. Okay, next. Binance coin is in a symmetrical triangle. This is why it's useful to draw your TA and save it if it saves properly on the charts, because once you drew, this trend line was here for like 3 months. So this spot, experienced traders knew this is the spot to go long right there. One thing I will point out is possible upside down head and shoulders, bullish pattern on Binance coin. If this plays out, longer term pattern, 32% to the upside, $580 target right here. So potential 20% to upside, got to put a stop loss. That's a large stop loss though. It's not the best spot to buy, but if the pattern breaks out of the triangle, it's going up 20%. Not financial advice. All right, ADA, really messy chart. ADA and its own little bear flag right now, consolidating. And we did lose this. See, it's consolidating and then pull back down under, so that's a problem. Now we can extend this out like that, bear flag on ADA. Now there's a lot of lines. So this little wedge thing here is measurable. So 10% either upside or downside. So 250 or $1.90 or 2 is where we're going on ADA. Watch for the break of resistance or support. Solana, same thing. I was saying we're going to tighten up in this range, and this blue dot is the support. So once somebody could have bought this, right? Because on 1010 we were here in the red, and I said somewhere here we could long, right? And if somebody did that, they're up in the money right now. 14%. And then you put your stop loss right under here somewhere, 5, 6, 7%. You made money, right? So it really takes discipline though. You have to be very brave and put your alerts and orders there in the dark, right? Most people are never willing to do that. But if you do it at a low enough spot, just with a safe amount of money, now you're a swing trader, right? You're a value trader. You're not a FOMO person if you do that. If you put your buy orders ahead of time, you are not FOMOing. Hopefully. Right? So the problem with Solana is, okay, are we going to break out from this triangle or not? 33%, that would take us 215 to the top side, upside. But 33% to the downside brings us back down to this former candle wick here. Like 113. So Solana looking like it wants to do something. It's coming to the end of the pattern. It has to do something. Doge, we went over Doge. If this turns into a dirty upside down head and shoulders, we already went through those two targets. So plus or minus 25%. Let me mark it on the chart for next time. 25, 32. So this is right here, $32. But if we fail, lose the shoulders, 30% to downside. That's a long ways down, right? But it's already in its triangle. So the first immediate support is 20 cents. I don't want to confuse people. The first immediate is 20 cents. But the longer term targets are here. So Doge also just stuck in that range. So again, there's a lot of coins with the potential upside down head and shoulders, bullish move. Right? So if somebody's aggressive, they would just try to long these kind of things. But there is that downside risk, but it exists. This pattern would have been nicer though if it was down here, because when it's just floating in the halfway of the pattern, it's like, it's kind of mixed. This is a definite buy signal, right? You have double bottom support. Beautiful. Right at the line. Beautiful line. Here we're at a resistance. So right, 27.21 is going to be the spot, battleground between bulls and bears. If this is a pattern comes true, it's plus 40% to the upside to 36.73. If it fails, 40% back down, basically at 12.54, the next spot of value down here. So you have two buy spots. You could buy the breakout if you're aggressive, and if this pattern, I shouldn't say if you're aggressive. If the pattern completes, then we need to buy here for long. If it fails, then 17.96 or 12.54 would be interesting spots of value. Litecoin trying to make its baby breakout, and I was saying this on last stream, is we might try to touch this area, and we just did that right now. I might have to redraw this because it's sloppy. It's another point. For TA, you want to have very, very accurate, clean lines. None of this stuff, okay? That's sloppy, right? You want to have very clean lines on the closes of either candle body or candle wick. Here we go. And we're at the resistance zone here, okay? But Litecoin, I was like looking at this last week, like, whoa, upside down head and shoulders? Is this for real? Almost everything has this. Plus 25% to upside, 224 target. If we fail though, probably come back down to 140. Cash. Okay, I might not explain every single one. It's almost the same setup, right? Wherever this 25% is, 785 is top of this resistance. Boom, right there. But we have to break out. If we don't, we're going to pull back down 484. Link is tightening in this range. Okay, I'm going to erase these previous resistance and support. And immediate target 2950, immediate support 2361. This is kind of a dirty upside down head and shoulders. But if we just use trend theory, okay, yeah, I can see that happening over time, 30. But Bitcoin has to go up. If Bitcoin crashes, alts will take a hit down first. ALGO. Okay, so ALGO, the pattern changed on ALGO. So we have an upward trend line resistance, and tightening a large bull flag. Get some targets. We can put up a Fibonacci, and it's just bouncing right here between these two Fibonacci support levels. If we break down, because you could actually measure this triangle, everything is 25% up or down right now, right? That would bring us down to here, 126, to be an interesting spot of value if we get down there. Also is a strong support level. See that? So that's an interesting target, and it has been daily downtrending. So I wouldn't be surprised if we try to test 160 first before trying to pump up to 186 over time, right? Because you have to set the lower low, lower high, maybe 175 right there. SHIB, we already talked about this, but SHIB is starting its 4-hour descent. So you might want to watch out for that. It's going to bottom out here some point soon. It might even bottom out at 382 or the 50%. So I'll just watch for that. You know, this is a strong support line. So I'll watch the 2020 and 1600 on SHIB. Next, MATIC, Polygon, I believe it's called now. So MATIC had a nice pump up. And again, these head and shoulder patterns were taking place, but you don't want to FOMO in too hard right now because it's a little overbought, a little high on the shorter time frames. So we might pull back down to 135, believe it or not, because we want to retest the neckline. So somewhere here, like 136, 137 range, you might see a retest. So either we're going to break out of this thing or we're not. So 180 still our target, or dollar. Longer term targets. Upside down head and shoulder though, yeah, 177, right? And again, I'm giving longer term targets because it's important to have those targets. Even if you're a day trader, even in a day trader, you should know the targets, because if you're trying to day trade, you have no TA, you are flying blind in the market. And all the pros, you know, they're already they have everything set up already, their targets and their plan of action to go. So you step into the arena with those people, it's dangerous. Very high chance of losing money. Fibonacci's, so for TA, because you have to understand, technical analysis, if you study the history of TA, it was born on day charts. Not many people may realize that. When TA was invented, I think it was in like 19 early 1900s, I believe. I forgot the exact date. I'm getting 2 dates mixed up. But early 1900s, right? They used to do it like when the American Stock Exchange first opened. They used to just put like little dots. It was a dot plot on the price, right? And then somebody figured out, oh, we connect these lines. And then somebody, basically the father of technical analysis, grandfather of technical analysis, like, wait a second, there's like these patterns. And then it was finally codified, right? In like the 50s, 60s, 70s. You have to understand, day trading only started from the late 1990s, the internet, like 2000, 99, 98, when the internet first existed, right? Indicators like Bollinger Bands and stuff were born in like 1990s, right? So it's kind of fun to really learn the history. That's what I did. I'm like such a technical analysis nerd. I'm like, what is this indicator? And then I would read the history, like, oh, wait a second, like RSI was born in 1970s, right? Or something like that. Back in the day. There's no computers back then. Right? So that's why TA, it's kind of tradition. You always start on a day chart or like a weekly chart to get your big Fibonacci set up. So you can Fibonacci a day trade, like a 5-minute move, right? From just this little thing, like that's the beauty of Fibonacci. It works on all times and all assets. But to get your big moves on crypto, though, you got to do it on day chart. You got to do it on day chart. Like, let me show you. This is getting too advanced for people, okay? This is not some secret or anything like that. It's just, if you have enough experience, okay? knowledge, skills, and experience and practice, you know Fibonacci works. How do I know this? Because I've done it so many times. If you Fibonacci the close of the pandemic low to the pandemic high, boom. Well, you might have to get the candle wick in there. Oh no, we could do close. Fibonacci's not perfect, but where did we stop? Right here. That's our inflection point. Almost 618. I was hoping we were going to get down to 25K, but we didn't. I had orders stacked here at 25K. But it's the 50%. Or we had our minor level support, 30,000. That's actually more accurate what happened. On a day chart, right? So if I knew 65,000 is our relative high, I went long right here. How did I know that? From knowledge and experience. Simple knowledge and experience. And I had that levels in my mind set up like, because once we lost 236, 382, but the 50%, I'm like, oh, we're kind of holding here, but we lost it. I started looking at 618, but then there's a support level here. So then I said, in the El Salvador legalizing Bitcoin, boom, I'm buying. No thought process. I mean, actually, there is thought process, but like no FOMO. I mean, I'm not chasing anything. Nobody wanted to buy Bitcoin right here on the chat rooms. Like everyone was silent, right? Even here, people were like totally silent. Everyone was pissed off and super angry at me on my stream when I did September 7th and September 8th right here. But I was telling people and trying to say in the nicest way possible is, guys, you know, just because we have one big red candle does not mean Bitcoin is dead, right? And I said on my idea, the downtrend is at risk. So we're going to start downtrending. And I called this $40,000 support as this is our possibly our major support level. It's our 200 EMA, and we double bond off that. In my Discord, I said we're going to establish a higher low. What does that mean? We're going to establish a higher price. And that's bullish. And then the September 30 stream, there's two spots I said people could buy. It's all related. It's all connected. So technical analysis is born on the day chart is all I'm saying. I'm trying to show you examples, right? RSI was born on day chart. MACD was born on day chart. Bollinger Band's born on day chart. Fibonacci is born probably on a day chart as well. Because back when there's no computers, there is no intraday trading. There's no Forex. There was no, actually there was Forex, but there was no leverage. I mean, there was no like modern day leverage, you know what I mean? Long time ago for technical analysis. That's why my philosophy of trading is short-term time frames. That's unnatural. That is not normal. That's not how nature works, right? This is just my way of thinking. Okay, this is not like the truth of anything, but the reason why I'm able to survive and thrive and make money in the markets is because I don't care what happens on the 1 minute chart. I really don't. I don't. 1 minute, right? Scalping. I used to do that, but yeah, there's no trading view like 20 years ago. So, right, 1M doesn't matter to me. Why? Because my longer term targets, all I had to do is I knew 40,000 support. I long Bitcoin. I long Bitcoin somewhere in this zone or in this zone, right? And I know my resistance here. My target was always 60K, 65,000 if we're in a bull move. So day trading, scalping, nothing against that, but you know, I'm trying to make more money here, like percentage wise, like just to be frank, right? Right? That's what everyone's trying to do. Become profitable or become a better trader or become a better technical analysis, right? You're trying to make the percent, you're trying to make the dollars in trading. That's the game. That's the business on Wall Street. But, you know, how are we going to get there though? It's like everyone's trying to get to the finish line, but how? So it's up to you to determine your trading style, your skill set, because after studying and doing a lot of knowledge, getting a lot of knowledge and skills, is I realized that myself, I am built to be like a longer term trader. Although I can't scalp and day trade, I started that way, but then as I grew in my abilities, The more research I've done, I'm like, oh, I'm just stick to longer charts. I don't really need to chase a 1 minute. Because if you think about it, 1 minute chart, you have to chase 60 coins in the USA at the same time. How can someone humanly do that? That's where you need, alerts or whatever algo robots that are out there for crypto trading and such. But for me, again, 1 minute doesn't really matter for me. I'm using for I switch between linear and logarithmic charts. Um, it depends on the asset. So the short version is if something has huge exponential moves, like you know what I'm talking about, 100%, 200% moves, then you got to switch to a log chart so you can see the past history. So on Bitcoin, if you try to look at 10 years ago data on a linear chart, you can't see anything over here, right? It looks like a flat line. But if you turn the log chart on and you zoom back out, now I can see 2014, right? So it depends on the asset you're doing. But if I'm trading like S&P 500, you could probably just use a linear. See, it doesn't move that much because the S&P 500 does not have such exponential moves. But Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin is very volatile, so the chart completely changes when you're looking at log versus linear. So sometimes I find hidden trend lines on logarithmic, but you can do it without it. It doesn't. It's not super critical, but just from experience, visually, I like looking at log for crypto. Lowest time frame for crypto analysis. Um, it'll probably be a 15-minute or a 5 minute. It depends. If there's extreme volatility, like for example, I remember I successfully traded this Dogecoin crash. Like I got 50% profit on that. I was using a 1 minute on that particular day because it was just absolute mayhem in the chart in the market. So um, it depends on the situation. But if I'm a swing trader, probably nothing lower than 15 minutes. If you're a swing trader, if you're an investor, all you need is like the 4 hour day. If you're a swing trader, you do like 1 hour, 4 hour daily. If you're an investor, daily, weekly, monthly. If you're a day trader, 1, 5, 15. Those are standard time frames. If you try to do everything, you got to look at everything. But I don't try to do that. It's too much data for a human. Yeah. So the general rule is, and I can't answer everyone's question, but logarithmic for linear is you have to know when to use it. It's a tool. It's like if you have a hammer versus a screwdriver, they're two different tools. Or if you have a hammer versus a wrench, you need to know when to use which tool, and then like you have to just kind of set that in your mind. Like, oh, if I'm on a log chart, I got to save everything for log chart. But if you're a beginner, which I think you told me you were, um, don't use log because you're going to confuse yourself, right? Don't use log because all of a sudden your lines will like disappear and everything's all messed up. So if you're starting out, just use linear. Use automatic linear. Just put automatic on the charts. Turn linear, no logarithmic, and then draw your lines. Right, draw your lines, and then lock it in. Right click, lock. Right click, lock on everything you're doing. Lock it, save it, right here on the chart, save it, lock it in. If it's still deleting for you, then make an idea, print it, take a picture on your phone, just do whatever you got to do. Right, screenshot your computer. So you're committing to the idea, you're committing to the TA. You gotta do what you gotta do. All right, stop. XLM, XLM. This is interesting. XLM. See, with the problem, why I'm not calling it a perfect upside down head and shoulders is you have on the left side the wick, and on the right side you have a real candle body closes. So it's kind of dirty. It's not a perfect textbook, but it's there. So if this happens to be true, if this happens to be true, bullish setup. Okay, 75% from the breakout. Very nice. Bringing us back up to 70 cents on XLM. This could be a wonderful setup if this actually turns out to be true on XLM. Nice bull target. Okay, if we have like a baby upside down, there's like two here. The market's really telling us, hey, we want to go up. Okay, I'm not going to fight the market. If it goes up 33%, that's our first target. We just got two targets right now, 50 cents and 70 cents on XLM if somebody's trying to be a swing slash investor. So, but the problem is the stop loss is very large to the downside, right? If the first target is for swing trading is 30%, then you need at least 50%, 15% stop loss. This would be interesting. Higher high, higher low. If this, yeah, that could totally play out over time. Just need that bull momentum for this leg up. Great, right into our resistance zone. Yeah, everything's playing out. Right into a pivot. Yep, exactly. So, and we're testing that 200 EMA just broke above that. So, yes, XLM looking really sus. Really looking suspicious right here on the charts. Get even more targets. We can do our Fibonacci on a linear scale from the bottom of the pandemic low to pandemic high. That would bring us to the 382 target. So if we break through the 50%, that would be kind of somebody, maybe a go signal that, okay, we might hit this target. A full retracement, okay, that might take like 6 months to a year, but this first leg up is totally possible if Bitcoin stays alive, though. Bitcoin crashes, this is going to pull back down. But see, there's a trend line here. So again, there's two spots to buy. You see that? Trend line. So if it pulls back down to 30 cents, that could be another support level. So as a bull, we don't want to give up too much, like emotionally. Just because we lose, we get stopped out, it's totally fine. I'm looking for the next trade. Where's my next spot of value, a discount, and my charts? Are they ready to go? Do I know what's happening? Or is my chart like this, just totally blank? That does not help me at all, right? You gotta put some effort into the charts. All right, Adam, ATOM, hitting our bottom side support here. Boom. So again, a bull flag here. I'm gonna try to do more crypto. So if you gotta go, I understand. If you're in a different country or something, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, please, you have to. We all have our own lives. But because I haven't streamed for a long time, I'm just gonna try to go longer. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. So here we go, bull flag, and the target plus or minus 30%, right? 10 to 30%, so like a 20%, so like a 20% up to like 39, or 20% down, like a 25, right? Look at Fibonacci from close to close, swing low to swing high. That's how we use Fibonacci. And you can see here, these Fibonacci levels are holding, but it's daily downtrend. So if we don't break out of here, Adam's in trouble. If this happens, Adam's in trouble. Going down to 26 or 22 over time. But if it breaks out, okay, go to 36 or 38. So maybe in a week, we'll get a really clear direction. Intraday traders, you can even get, faster direction, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, FIL, Filecoin. Here we go, in a much, much larger symmetrical triangle near the support level. So, okay, somebody, swing traders already saying they want to take on some risk on Filecoin. Okay, because it went from downtrend. If we do get an uptrend reversal, we're actually just bouncing off of a support level. So it's pretty nice. There's not much liquidity here on Filecoin, but it's basically a 10% stop loss and a minimum 20% target on the top side if somebody's going to try to take this trade. But understand that we could, if this turns into a downtrend on Filecoin, could be seeing a downside target of 47, upside target of 82 to 95. Just remember, Filecoin doesn't have that much liquidity. Let me check the market cap. I think I wrote it down here the other day. 7.89 billion market cap. So it's still $1 billion, right? Even if you're not familiar with the name. Okay, VeChain, old school. VeChain USDT. So this, let me just erase this. Potential upside down head and shoulders is why I took a position on this a little while ago. Not saying that you have to. I'm just being transparent here. 50%. That's why, because I'm like, wait a second, 50% possibility on VeChain. I like that, right? As a swing trader, you like that. 50%. Here we go. Where's my target on the top side? About 18 cents. Stop loss in case this thing fails is much larger. 25%. That would bring us into bear market territory on VeChain. And then there's also this trend line thingy right here. So on the top side, not the lowest spot of value, but with crypto, when patterns start forming and they really start going, like meaning if the bullet train is about to speed off and explode out, you don't want to miss it, right? So how to have no FOMO is you have to be ahead of a lot of people and take on risk when nobody wants to take risk. Because people might be thinking, nothing's happening on VeChain, forget this coin. It's like, no, if you're an experienced swing trader, there's a potential bullish pattern here. So if somebody wants to put on some risk, right, it's a much larger stop loss. VeChain is pretty volatile. It's not the best spot of value, but if I'm an aggressive swing trader, I'm like, I want to catch this possible. Meaning I want to catch this breakout. If that fails, I'm going to buy the support. Same thing. If it crashes down to 7 cents or wherever, 6 cents, I'll probably take a long there. Okay, Ethereum Classic. The dirty chart. So this already looks like it's bouncing off some fib levels. Here's where I need to use log chart because Ethereum Classic was like $4. So this part looks like it's flatlined. So whenever something looks flatlined, I can't really see that well. So I need to use log on this case. And now I can see it very nicely on the left side. So I'm going to swing low to swing high, this pandemic low to pandemic high. In the price, boom. And you can see here, look at the Fibonacci's. It just touched it perfectly. 786 bounce, 618 resistance, 618 resistance, 50%, right? Boom, boom. Just so perfect. That's why I love Fibonacci. But you can't, but the problem is if somebody's just learning about Fibonacci now, like don't get so excited that you throw everything away and you're like, all I need is Fibonacci. It's like, no. It's just one tool, right? You could still do it with just trend lines like this old school style. And then just your support resistance. And you just connect the dots, connect as many lines as possible. So you don't have to do Fibonacci. What I learned in TA is we don't want to get overly obsessed of just one thing, one idea, right? If you just get obsessed about moving averages or RSI or MACD or Fibonacci levels, and you just get obsessed about one thing, the problem is none of that is the price. So if you want to get obsessed about something, get obsessed about price candlesticks. So I'm not talking about this right here, or you can't see my mouse moving. But 54.57, right? I don't really care what the price is in a general sense, right? But this number says right here in the box. What I care about is more, what is this telling me? Okay, what is the price candlesticks telling me? Because to me, the number is just a number. It's just, what is this telling me though? Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? That's what I'm looking at in technical analysis. So even if I see, this MATIC 18%, I'm like, because I have so much experience, to me, it doesn't matter that much. Is, okay, it already went up 80%. What's the next thing that's going to happen on MATIC? Is what I'm already thinking about. What's my next move? If we're topping out on resistance here on this yellow line, okay, where am I going to buy? As a swing trader, if you're long bull, where am I going to buy? Right here, 137 or 130 or 129, right? So that's how you overcome FOMO is once you get your technical analysis knowledge and the skills and the process down, then you start getting ahead of everybody else. Okay, what was I on ETC? Yeah, where it was ETC. Yeah. So ETC here, you can measure this triangle here. Although this might be a pretty large target, I like the 30% conservative target. Don't want to get too hyped up. 30% will bring us to 74.14. So even though I didn't use anything, I just did support, I actually drew the exact target. That's how you know technical analysis works. When like three um, factors all combined, you get confluence, right? And then that gives you your confidence level of like, okay, are we gonna go up or are we gonna go down? Like, you know what I mean? On doing this old school style, right? The classic way. And then you could just look at intraday momentum. It's right here. You just play your two immediate resistance support levels with confidence, and you say, okay, if we break out above $56, yeah, we're gonna measure that little rectangle, measure this thing, 6% to upside. Yeah, I'm gonna put my sell order right there, 59.39, and put a second sell order at the second target, 63. If you're swing trading, and you just do it like that, 6% to upside, 6, it's 3% to the downside, right? Or you do put a 6% like that, or 12%. Or if you're really, really, really conservative, you wait and put a buy order right down to 51. Right? So many ways to play it. Depends on who you are. The problem is though with trading, you do not want to make too many mistakes, right? If you make 10, 20, 30 mistakes in a row, you probably lost all your money trading. So although it seems like I'm trading a lot, I personally don't. I wait for A plus setups. Okay. So I usually do not like to talk about gambling too much, but if you've ever played, I don't encourage gambling at all. Okay. But if you played card games, is what I'm saying. If you played Texas Hold'em, if you played poker before, I'm not talking about like blackjack or whatever, you know, or like, you know, like gambling. I'm talking about like skill-based card games, right? Like Texas Hold'em, right? If you ever played Texas Hold'em or poker, I'm talking about premium hands right now. Okay. I'm talking about, you get your pocket aces, you get your pocket kings or pocket queens. Those are A plus, B plus setups, right? Cards holding in your hand. Okay. So same thing applies to crypto trading is if I try to long here at the top of Ethereum at a maximum FOMO spot, this is like having deuce 7 in your hand. It's a very weak position, right? It's a very weak position in the market because you have all this downside risk, right? Negative 68%. And the upside was what, 7%? So that's what I'm saying is you want strong hands. That's why people say you got diamond hands. You want to buy a support level. You want your pocket aces in the market. Where's your pocket aces moment? Not here, up here. Your pocket aces moment is like, well, that was weird. Is like down here somewhere because there's a support line. This is the pocket aces moment or pocket kings. This is like pocket queens to me, or pocket jacks, right? Face cards, right? Your top 4 positions. So you as a crypto trader or investor, you got to have some kind of strategy in your mind or like levels of value, I'm going to call them, of if I take a position in the market, how can I have a strong position so that there's a higher chance I'm going to make money on this trade? That's how I think about it. I don't think about hype. I don't follow other people's hype, right? I actually do the opposite of their hype, and I'm usually right. That's the secret of trading, right? Of what the masses are doing, just do the opposite in the most part. For the most part. Sometimes they're right, though, like meme trading, GameStop, AMC, they were right in January, February. You could have actually followed the crowd on that one trade. But for the most part, though, I'm talking about just get every single person on earth and whatever what they want to buy as retail is like what you should sell, right? It's what the pros know. Warren Buffett knows. Be fearful when other people are greedy. So right here on ETC, when people are going out of their minds that ETC is going to 1,000 in the chat rooms, I'm like, no, I don't think so. Right? We have a shooting star. This thing's moving. No, we're going deep retracement. Right? So I didn't touch this thing, ETC, after this started happening. But now that we're consolidating, okay, ETC is ready to go somewhere, finally. $61 or 44. It's consolidating, right? When you get a consolidation to the side like that, it's plus or minus 6% after we measured it. Okay, XTZ. XTZ. So you can see here, let me turn my log off. Yeah, this is an example where sometimes charts get messed up. So I'll just start over. A linear scale here. And interesting that this is not all the data. So let me look at one of. Okay, this one's a little better. XTZ right here on this um, trend line right here, the downside, very, very steep. So if someone's analyzing this coin, you kind of have to look on the inside day, because if you're only staring at a day chart, sometimes the day chart's too slow, so you just miss the move. So when it gets really steep like that, I kind of sometimes don't use trend lines. Depends on the situation, excuse me. Depends on the situation, but I'll Fibonacci this thing. Fibonacci. And the trend line, immediate trend lines I'm seeing are the right here, this one. This is the one I would be watching out for because we're just about to lose it. Boom. So now you see a upward ascending daily channel, horizontal going up. So if we lose 660, XTZ is going to be in trouble. Probably shorts might try to crush this thing, right? Pull it back down to 565. You can actually measure the channel long term, plus or minus 50%. That's not out of the question. 353 on XTZ. That might be too long term though, right? Sometimes these targets are out of control. But 50% to the upside would bring us to 1050. Not impossible. You just need liquidity. You need volume and buyers. But the thing that's sketchy here, suspicious, is the price has been going up, volume's been going down. Something is going to happen. Just knowing that. But if somebody's aggressive swing trader, they try to buy this spot right here because it's support level just on that rule. Longs, we always try to buy support, even though this might not be the bottom support, just somewhere in this zone, right? More accurately, like 566, previous support level. You can use indicators to help you time it better. With Bitcoin, you want to time it well, crypto. But I'm giving big day chart targets because those actually hold pretty well. Quick pause here. I am streaming live on TradingView and YouTube and Twitch. I'm in a free Discord group. I do a basic weekly watch list. I'm only streaming once a week on weekends, much longer because I'm focusing a lot on stock earnings and taking some trades if I see them. But I had a profitable week this week, and that's why you got to put in the work and really, really get yourself prepared for the market. It's like you're getting prepared for a battle. You're getting prepared for a fight, boxing fight. Or you're getting even prepared for a sports game. That's what I think about it. We're in the Olympics. You have to realize that we're in the financial Olympics. All right, HBAR. I'm gonna keep going here because I can, but if you gotta go, I understand. But let me take a sip of water before we keep going. Thank you. Thanks for watching too, everybody. I appreciate it. Because I know TA can be super boring. Nobody wants to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is not fun for people, even though it is kind of fun. Because I view it TA as like a treasure hunt. Because if I find the setup, you could make money, right? Like that's how you could feel. So I get excited. I get hyped up about charts, right? I don't get hyped up about price and percentage, right? You got to get hyped up about charts. You find that beautiful setup like Shibu, upside down head and shoulders with 100% upside plus, that's where that's a pocket aces setup. You go all in, boom, long, you go long right here, and you just let it ride, right? I mean, you have to sell soon, but um, there's an A plus setup. This is a pocket aces in crypto. Right? But on XTZ right here, this is not pocket aces long. You know what I'm saying? You want EMAs? Okay. I have to bring up just the EMA itself because I use a customized. Not put it the colors that I usually do. So the 50 EMA, I like it yellow. And the 200 EMA, I like it red. There we go. So our 50 EMAs in yellow and our 200 EMAs in red. I'm on the daily chart and I'm trying to go through all the altcoins. So yeah, XDZ could come back down to 625 right here if you want to use EMA as support. HBAR just jumped off of that EMA, bounced off of it, okay, to the upside resistance point. Even if I did not have this EMA, you could still draw this thing. The reason why I don't leave it on as well is because it's gets kind of messy looking. But this was here the whole time, and so it's testing that like that. Kind of a dirty triangle on a H1 or H4. This would look like a cleaner triangle, but it's been riding this trend line. This is the most important part. Riding this trend line here. A little bit of flash crash, and then we're up. We rallied, and we're back testing this trend line right here. So this one a little bit more tricky because it seems to be flip-flopping the market. 39 cents to upside, 33 cents to downside. But the fact that it's back testing this trend line is pretty nice. Right. It's just right about 200 EMA here. Let's see. You could draw this trend line. The ascending triangle is a little bit of a stretch. There's not enough touch points. So in a bullish case scenario, I guess somebody could draw it like that if they wanted to. Target it out like that, but because it is trying to make a higher low just right now as we speak. Never say never for crypto, right? If it's a bull setup, okay. If it's bull setup, then 7% to upside, 3% to downside. Someone wants to try to take it, right? But it's not a low spot of value. There's H1 momentum building, but it is support. Okay, so crypto is like forex trading. So if you're at a support, why not, right? But I'm not saying all in right here. Do not do that because HBAR is a lower liquidity. This is not an A plus setup in time right here. This is not your strongest moment as a bull. Your strongest moment was right here as a bull. So we just bounced off of the 618 basically, and we're testing. We tried to test 382, but it's still tightening in here. So I'm not going to call it yet. It looks like we have this going on in the market on HBAR. So there could be downside too, 34 cents. HBAR a little bit, it's not that clear on a daily. Okay, EGLD. This is getting messy. So EGLD. The thing is, we have to realize too, a lot of these coins are golden crossed up. So that's good. It's just the later we wait in an uptrending environment, the worse chances of making money, getting profit, because at a certain point it's going to end the longer you wait, right? And we just saw on this left side on the last golden run here, okay, where if we just look back in history, there's two signals where if we use this indicator package, where we could get out of the market. First, there's a bearish pattern printing here. Okay, you just get too overextended. You're in the clouds up in here, right? Where you could try to sell. Or you have downtrending ensuing. Lower low, lower high, losing the support, boom, game over. Right? Or you could draw a triangle like that. So once you lost that, talk about 155, game over. There's a bullish reversal signal here. Wants the breakout of resistance to get back in the market. And so people are holding, but it does look like if we use Wyckoff method, okay, this is advanced. I like Wyckoff method, the basics. Basically, Wyckoff method is there's a composite operator, meaning that's the way we view the market as a whole. Meaning there's like just think about it, some rich whales out there controlling the market. Wyckoff method, composite operator. So the composite operator is buying right here, accumulation, markup, distribution. It's not pure distribution like that, but still distribution nonetheless. So somebody made a lot of money on their whatever algorithmic EGLD trade globally, right? They bought this breakout right here. Buy the breakout, okay, get super oversold, probably sell half or something, right? And then they're just hodling the rest. Totally happens all the time. So we might be wondering, what's next on EGLD? It's always the question, what's next in crypto? There's a little bit of this symmetrical triangle right here. We measured that, plus or minus 25%. Again, the first stop on the way down would be 213, right? EMAs. 23% is a long way down, but that would bring us back down to the support level here or here. Okay, right there. If not, it could stop right at 233 if we have some bullish, like incredible action, and boom, up. Just depends on the setup and your risk tolerance. Okay, EOS. So EOS is a little bit tricky here in the fact that it's riding this EMA support. I mean, the trendline support just bounced off of it. So we had a reversal signal, bullish signal to a bearish signal to a possible bullish signal, building up again. EMAs are lagging indicators. That's where you see the EMA just do this. EMA is a trend indicator first and foremost. It's lagging. That's why sometimes you don't need EMA. Sometimes. But if you're starting out, EMA, 50 EMA, 200 EMA, that's your best friend in the market on any asset. All right. So all I'm saying is EOS is bounced off of its trend line and it's trying to do something here. But when it's in the middle of the pattern, that's just like no man's land. You'll need some serious bull power to do this, right? Yeah. But what I'm going to recommend is, again, I know when people are starting out, because I was the same way, is once you like learn something new or you see something on the charts and it's like, I think that makes sense in my mind, is you have to back test it on TradingView Strategy Tester. This is what separates the profitable traders from non-profitable traders. Strategy Tester. That's all I'll say. Back tested. One word. Okay. So EOS is just stuck between resistance and support 507 and 434, like that. Okay. So if it breaks out, nice. Target would be like 550 and 625. If it breaks down, 428 and 362. Next, AAVE. Here's a good example of log chart where you get the trend line and the support fails. Okay, I'm going to turn the EMAs off because on this particular example, this is very important because we had a support bounce here. Does everyone see that? We had a support bounce here, and all the algos and experienced traders bought it right there. Boom, hit the resistance, sold. They're out of there. They made their money. They're done. 30% is a lot. 2 to 3 years of stock market gains, right there, right? And then if the support does not hold the second time, you have a problem. Intraday, you're downtrending, but on a day chart, once you get a breakdown of you lose the support, it becomes the ceiling. It's like you're going down a floor in a high-rise building. You go down a floor, now you have a ceiling above your head, right? So you go down, oh, problem. It should have back tested, but it didn't. It should, meaning like it should have bounced, but it did not. So here, boom, down to the downside. Okay, so here we go, like that. Now it's consolidating. Bear flag. Trying to recover. So if AAVE is going to bounce up here, you measure this thing. That's why you got to put in the sweat equity, put in the manual work. Our target now is 342, 15%, maybe like 20, but 15 for conservative, 255 to the downside, right? And then you can bring back the EMAs and look intraday, golden cross on H1. We're still in a death cross on H4, 4 hour. Watch out for that. But this is like another triangle pattern forming on AAVE, just like the whole market. IOTA. Okay, so one thing I want to point out is my last stream. I gave this IOTA setup saying IOTA is going to go 20% on October 10th. So that was right. It was like a couple hours before the market opened. So I called it like right here. Let me erase everything. I said on stream somewhere. I think I said it like right here somewhere. Okay, so that target played out and then it went almost 20%. Right? So targets work if you believe it. That's why technical analysis, the sequence is you need to know, you need knowledge, information, skills, and charting ability. Step one. Step two is apply that on your charts to get the trade set up. Step three is manage your position sizing properly. Step four is, and then it's risk management. If you start making money, you have to move the stop loss up. Why? Because crypto is going to be volatile. If you're swing trading, trying to get this one last move on IOTA, right here, you cannot leave your stop loss open here and turn your computer off, right? If it starts going up, you need alerts all up in here. Alerts, right? Set your alerts, your targets. What I did on IOTA was set my alert, and then I set my sell target somewhere here, which it didn't fire, but I manually was able to see it. Right, the sell target was actually a little higher. Right here. But you know, if somebody has if they would just went long like randomly on my stream, boom, like this. Okay, you can't leave your stop loss all the way down here. I think I said 5% or something like that. Can't leave that. Once it starts going up, you got to move the stop loss up. Protect the principal, protect the profits. And if you're very, very disciplined, you just sell right here in this wick on a like 5 minute or 15 minute. Okay, so with crypto trading, you have to like move with the market. Because if you think about it, trading is just a series of decisions. If you think about it. So how do we make good informed decisions in the market or in life? There's a real process. I actually spent time like reading books about that psychology. So that's something if somebody's interested in the psychological part of trading is start doing research on like how do I make good decisions? How do I control my emotions? There are books on them about that stuff. Okay, IOTA. IOTA. 1 day chart. We'll get this trend line here, and we'll get this trend line here, and we'll look at our support and our resistance and our support. So that upside down head and shoulders pattern I call is over. Then we downtrended down here. One book I recommend, well, besides TradingView and all the education here on the front page and all the ideas and indicators, right? Like if you're trying to become a technical analyst, right, you have to master these tools that TradingView provides for free and for paid. Right? If you're serious about trading and technical analysis, you got to get a paid TradingView account because you need to be able to save your analysis. You need to learn the analysis tools and then be able to save it. So TradingView is wonderful for that. Books as well for TradingView is like probably a technical analysis book. No one book is coming to my mind, but kind of maybe more of like an encyclopedia style book. So I'm not talking about just like quotes and stuff like that. No, I'm like, what is support? What is resistance? What is trend? What are price patterns? There's like 10 of them. There are 20 of them, right? You gotta memorize those so you could do it in your sleep. I've been doing charts for so many years every single day. I don't have to draw right away. Or in my mind, because I'm doing it so much, it's just a habit for me. Is when I pull up a chart, I'm already in my mind looking at the current price, and then figuring out where are we? Is there a setup? And in my mind, I'm already drawing the lines. I'm already drawing this line in my mind before I do it because I see it already. I see, oh, there's this one, okay, and then on the top side, before I draw, I say, oh, there's one right here. Okay. Also, I'm also thinking in my mind, what's the trend? Downtrend, a daily. It wasn't a downtrend, but this could be a possible uptrend reversal. So I know on the weekly, I'm zoomed out on one time frame. So I know on a weekly, this is a weekly potential downtrend. If this higher low does not hold, then it's going to go down like this. Okay, and there's a hidden trend line here. So I'm already thinking about this stuff like before I do it on my drawings because I've done it so many times and I studied it so many times and I practiced so many times, right? Like how did I practice? One time I brought up when I was like studying and trying to get better at trading and analysis. Like I was up in TradingView here like 4 hours every day. I was obsessed with it. And I think I have some kind of like ability for it or something. I don't know what it is, but charts like makes perfect sense to me. Once I learned it, it just like light bulb went off in my mind, and I was like, I like this, right? Like this makes sense to me. Somebody gives me an Excel spreadsheet, like I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. But the chart makes sense to me. So again, that's just a little side note on finding your own style, like what works for you. Because who knows? Maybe some people in here are like financial analysts, right? You might be good with numbers, Excel spreadsheet. You might be good at looking at data or programming, right? But for me, I like charts and indicators, and I've looked at every single tool and indicator on TradingView. I open this, where is it? Built-ins. I looked at all of these. I've used all of them, right? So if you're serious about TA, all these tools, I've tried all of them. I've tested all of them. I looked at all of them. I figured out what it is. What does it do, right? You got to have that kind of like hunger for it. Because if you're just like looking at one tool, you know what I mean? Like if you draw one line here, I mean, you could if you're like a minimalist, but if you just do that, it helps. It helps. Maybe you need one more line though, right? So that helps. Okay, so you have some kind of triangle forming. But then if you also add in support and resistance, that gives you a tighter range. If you add in like Fibonacci, you get all the ranges and you see why these targets hit from blue to green lines. Right? We do some trend analysis intraday. Go 4 hours. We saw end of September, we're in an uptrend. Middle of October, let's say boom, not doom. Boom, resistance right here. It's bad. And then once you lose this pattern, the support, this is a double top price pattern, right? This should jump. If you study enough, this should jump out at you on the charts. or at least say like resistance. So then if we lose the support of the middle of that pattern, we're going down negative 8%. How much do we go down? Negative 8%. So TA works if you know how to use it when you're ready. Okay. So again, I'm not trying to make people feel bad. I'm trying to motivate people and encourage people. Is that I always tell people you're in the Olympics. You're in the financial Olympics. Who's your opponent? The $1 million, $1 billion hedge funds, institutions, Wall Street, other people who have like 5, 10 years experience. Because portfolio managers, they need like 5 years of studying prerequisite to even become a portfolio manager. You have to pass like 3 exams. It's like law school. To become a financial fund, mutual fund manager, you need to study for 5 years or 3 to 5 years just to take the test. You're battling those types of people, or a robot or algorithm who's been programmed to have like a 90% success rate. You're battling those people in the market. So you kind of have to study, you know what I mean? Like you kind of have to get some knowledge and tools, get the basics down, just master the basics and fundamentals, and then you'll be a mile ahead of like everyone else who's starting out. Okay. Like skill based matchmaking in the market. And then it's just a matter of like how much can you do it every day? Because I understand people who have families in school, you can't do it all day long. I'm a full time trader, so I can do it like 12 hours a day, 8 hours a day, right? That's my job. Trading and charting is my job, but for myself. But you know, before I went full time, I was doing like 1 hour of charts a day. And if I only had to pick two things, I would just let me write this. If I only had to pick two things, I would just pick the S&P 500 and then Bitcoin, right? BTC USD, SPY, ETF. That's all you need, right? That's all you need. These two, because SPY is the USA stock market index, and Bitcoin is Bitcoin, so it's basically the king of crypto. So I would just practice every day on those stocks and crypto. And maybe if you're a forex guy, like you could add your forex pair in here, and now you're an analyst, like a beginner analyst, right? And you just got to get your charts all set up. Okay, I went off on a huge tangent here, but uh, IOTA in a short term daily downtrends, I'll watch out for IOTA. This pattern's like done. Even this second baby head potential is done, upside down, lower low, lower high. So maybe somewhere pull back to like 116 or $1 will be in the situation for IOTA. These are EMAs. H1 has down crossed, so now we're under the EMA. Now it's a resistance level. Okay, let's try to speed up here. Um, GRT is interesting that I try not to answer those questions, but um, all I'll say is I'm full time crypto and stocks. But it took me many, many years to get here. It didn't happen. I didn't just become this way in 1 week. I spent a lot of time. I basically spent all my free time on charts and trading. It became my life. So for better or worse, it became my life. You know what I mean? So, but then I have to explain to people really fast. Let me take a break from charts for like 2 minutes. Is that I always had like my personality type is I'm a little bit more risk acceptance type of person in my life. So I know some people like they would never play poker ever, right? I used to play poker when I was young. I was never addicted to it, but it's like we just play for fun, you know what I mean? Like I play for $1. So I know one guy, he would never gamble ever, right? So I was never that like risk averse. Um, but like things I would do in life, you know what I mean? And I ended up in the stock market and trading because of Bitcoin, right? And so with trading, you have to have some kind of risk on, risk off mentality. That's how the hedge funds think. They think it's like a lever. Risk on, are we going to buy? Or are we going to risk off? Or are we going to sell, right? Depending on what criteria. It's just like, it's algorithmic for them, right? They have it pre-programmed already. But for everyone else who's a human, you have to have some knowledge and strategy. So, speaking of strategy, GRT just bouncing off its support level on the trend line here. I just drew 2 lines and there's already a setup that's taking place. Higher high, higher low bounce right there. Just happened 3 days ago. So GRT just baby trying to higher high, higher low here. Okay, so the target would be this topside resistance. And you'll notice the chart looks very, very similar as other altcoins. Like this, okay? So if GRT is going to go up, that'll be real nice. That's 40% upside. That's a lot. But you have to put a relatively large stop loss. But again, if we buy right now at the second, we're buying high. How do I know that? Just from experience. You're buying at an overbought, high purple, high RSI level, right? You're not buying down here when it was low. Okay, so again, if you're long, you have to be very sensitive to these types of things, right? I'm giving the big day setups just to get people's target on the chart. But if someone's a serious day trader, you got to buy lowest price in your time session as possible, because then it's more likely to go up afterwards. So if you don't know what TA is, or you don't know indicators, or you're just starting, is just stay on the day chart. That's why I start here all the time. It's just we bounced off of this support level already, so it's not low price anymore. Maybe if someone's trying to long this, if you're very patient, wait for the next pullback to like 75 cents if that ever happens, or another touchdown here, 71 cents. Might be a better spot of value for GRT. But if we break out, we might have to long at like 81 before it goes up. So multiple setups here. Neo USDT, Neo. And what I'll say about these like older Chinese coins is that, or Asia coins, is that the liquidity in the China session went down a lot. I hope people realize that. But that could be bullish because it's like supply demand. If something's valuable and then a country cannot buy it anymore, that increases the value. It makes it more scarce. So that's also why Bitcoin went up. So in the short term, yes, China banning Bitcoin transactions and mining over here and over here, um, that was bad for the market. But at the same time, Bitcoin and altcoins survive. So then the natural reversal of that energy, right, is going to pop us up. And it makes things more scarce and valuable. And then people are going to bid the price up. It's like an auction. Say, I want it. And the price is going to keep going up. Then once it's too high, all the supply has been bought. It's like that economics class, right? If all the supply has been bought, then there's no demand anymore. So then when there's less demand, the price has to go down. So people are actually going to buy it at a discount, right? So it's like, there's so many ways you could think about the market. That's probably one of the better ways to think about it. So instead of hype, right? That's why you don't see me pitching people's hype or their tweets or the chat rooms or anything like that. Even in my own Discord, it's like very quiet because hype is not a strategy. You know what I mean? Hype is not a strategy. You have to have real TA setups. That's a strategy. Indicators, that's a strategy, right? But just pure mental hype, screaming at, like, I know people yelling at the screen like, oh, Neo, $500, but it's only $45 right now. So We have to watch out for those kinds of mental um, habits. So the fact is, we're in a triangle, sideways triangle. And even if you think like, oh, we've seen this 20 times already, it's like, no, it's slightly different though, because it's under the EMA, so it's still bearish at this point. 4 days under the EMA, we tried to test it and break through, but no, no thanks. Bears say no, buyers say no, no, we're gonna sell, and then they come back down. NIA's a little different. There is support here at 42.75, but try to maybe 41.30 would be an interesting long spot. The second long spot would be 47 with a target of 65. And how do I know how to call this? Because I have so much experience. Is okay, if this is going to be a bullish setup, then I know if this has to break through the 200 EMA and boom, go up here to 60, like a wick, like a little stick might happen, like that. Okay. If not, it's going to pull back. If we lose that, it's going to pull way back and go like that. So you can see it's at the fork in the road right now. Intraday will tell us how we're going to go. Okay, I don't think I could go through every crypto coin. Let me go super fast, rapid fire, and just see if I see anything. XRP, possible upside down head and shoulders. Bullish continuation. OXT had a pop up. This is FOMO. This is why we don't want to FOMO. You open up your browser, your broker, or your phone, and you're like, oh, OXT, 28%. And if you just buy blind, that's FOMO. You might hurt. Or if you saw the price appear and it's like 58, it's like, oh, it's up 50%. Oh, I'm gonna make money. Or it's like, oh, I want to make money today. I lost money last week or something like that. And you buy and then boom, you're down a lot of money. You're down 20, 30%, and it's not going to go up today, right? So that's why you don't want to FOMO. You do not want to FOMO on crypto, especially. Okay, it might continue in 1 hour from now, but I'm saying, are we going to go sky high today? Probably not. Because what happens after a big run up is a big pullback down. And there was, if you're an experienced day trader, okay, yeah, there's a reversal setup here. Yeah, big momentum on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, touching that support, boom, yep. So if somebody was experienced trader, they know you buy here. But you don't buy here. You sell here. Why? Because resistance zone. Resistance zone, 618 resistance. On a 1 minute, this thing was fading back down. So that's how fast you got to think when you're in a day trading. When you're crypto, you got to think and work very fast. So we have support breakout, resistance breakout, boom, last chance. You have 5 minutes to buy right here on a day trader. Boom, you're up. Okay, pull back to the 20 EMA. You have 2 minutes to buy here. Boom, it's going up. Okay, you hit the resistance, coming down, pull back down. Where to 20 EMA? All right, are you gonna sell? You're gonna buy? You have to make those decisions. That's why I do not recommend it. If you're a beginner, don't start on 1 minute. It's too advanced. Also, you'll most likely lose money. This is not auto fib. I don't use auto fib. I manually fib and I just save it. I do this a long time ago, sometime in June or somewhere. I think I Fibonacci from the bottom here to the top, lowest to highest on my Binance chart. And that's going to give you the targets, right? Where do we go? We went from, it's going to load. Oh, there's a bug. My Fibonacci disappeared. There we go. Yeah, so we went from the 0.88 on September 30 to the 786, pulled back down about 50% of the way there, broke through the 786, robots trigger, and now we hit the 618, almost 50%, pulling back, bouncing back to 618, and now this trade looked like it's over. So that's why I recommend to people. I actually saw this for a while, but I didn't trade it. Because OXT is too low volume for me. I can't trade this coin, it's too small. So I encourage people, excuse me. So I encourage people, that's why you got to put in some work and then save your work. For me, don't copy me on my stream because I have to clean it for people so like who are new. But if you're on your, you kind of need a paid trading account view so you could save your work. On your free account, you get the ads and it doesn't save after like, I don't know, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You could still use it, but if you're serious about the market, right, you need to probably get a paid trading view account, even if it's like a pro or a pro plus. We have Black Friday coming up, right? So if you want to try to buy it there, or just buy it for a month and you see if you like TradingView, and then if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. But you know, I started with I think I started with like Pro or Pro Plus. Augur, Augur. Yeah, that's not a trend line down there. But Augur looking like this, so it's actually descending. The angle of the triangle is downward sloping. So Augur is like the second to last USA market cap. It's a small coin. So maybe I shouldn't look at these small coins, but I'll just do it anyways. Band though, it was in a nice uptrend, but now fading down. Okay, so you can see here hype momentum, kind of pulling back, right? Big pullback down, bounce up off the 786 support to a head and shoulders reversal pattern, and it's just barely trying to survive here. Band is very highly correlated with crypto. KNC, these are really old Fibonacci's. KNC. And we're gonna end soon. I'm not gonna go like 5 hours. We'll end soon. It's weekend for everybody, right? So I don't want to waste too much people's time. But I'm giving like just all the information here on this stream. You know what I mean? We're going all out here today. Um, so Kyber, again, Kyber, there was an interesting support level. This trend line was here for a long time, since July 2021. This is here for 3 months. That's how you know, get way ahead of time. You just have to draw one line and lock it in, and then you'll know, this support right here, right here, right there, $1.30. But Kyber Network's so small, can't really put a lot of money in this. But a lot of coins trying to do this upside down head and shoulders. We'll see if that plays out. VeChain Thor, I traded this. Low liquidity. I mean, there's a lot of liquidity, but the market cap is small. So I do not recommend trying to trade VeChain Thor, because if you're wrong, you're going to be really wrong. You lose a lot of money. Like when VeChain, it's like plus or minus 40%. So not really for like a beginner account, but there is liquidity in it. If you look at the order book, there's always like $50,000 robot orders. It's all there. The market maker's there. That's what this coin is like designed to do, in my opinion. But just trying to maintain this higher low here in the market and see if we could try to bounce. It's just, we had this little head and shoulders pattern that was kind of bearish. Just bouncing off of that right here though. So VeChain Thor just getting rejected down from that resistance. See that hammer pattern? Boom. So it kind of looks like it wants to tighten up right to here, like 8667. I might long there. But if it breaks out and does that, then last chance right here at like 98. Okay, so some of the small ones, I'm not going to do these because they're too small. Many altcoins looking very similar. Ravencoin in particular, though, it's upside down head and shoulders at the 200 EMA. I might take this trade. We'll see. It might do a little bit here because it's at a support level. It's a pattern at a support level, right? Because a lot of these other coins, it's like a pattern, but it's somewhere like in the middle. It's not really at the EMA, but this one is. That's why it's a very subtle difference. Subtle difference. It's in the middle, but it's holding the 200 EMA. So, okay, if Raven wants to go, it's going to go. 30% to upside would take us to 15 cents. 30% to downside would take us to 7. Longer term target. So there's 3 spots to buy here. You could buy right now, or you could buy it down here, or you could buy the breakout, whatever your risk tolerance is. But Raven is a penny coin, basically. So this thing moves. It's like VeChain Thor. It's going to go plus or minus like 40%. So do not put your whole account in this thing. You'll lose all your money in one day if you're wrong. BAT, here's a good example. Okay, I went long BAT way long time ago, like 10 months ago or 9 months ago here, just on a variety of factors. So let me try to walk through my thought process of going long on basic attention token. So first off, I knew of this coin for a long time. It's been tradable for like years now. The second reason is why I went long at the yellow line is just simple support and resistance. Because also I knew the crypto market. This is not the only coin I traded or invested in, right? It's just I remember I went long here and I did sell in this upper zone. So I traded this really well. How did I know to capture here to here? There's where your technical analysis skills come into play. I knew, even if you don't have EMA, is there's the concept of support and resistance. So I know you have a resistance here and support down here and support here and resistance like that. It's just 4 lines to draw. If I just pretend I rewind myself back to the purple line, the pink line, that's all you need. But I also knew that, oh, we might be uptrending here. It's like, okay. Okay, if we break 28, we're probably going to go to 44. And if we break 44, we're going to like $1 or 60, 80 cents, dollar, right? You just put us some targets like that. You can measure it too. I was only trying to make like 35% or 70%, and then we ended up going like 400%. So it was like beautiful. But also, I kind of was tracking Bitcoin at that time, and so it was going on. So, okay, just buy something. Right. Sometimes decisions are just that easy. Just do basic analysis, and you're like, I wasn't getting all caught up in the hype. I just was drawing it like that. And I said, okay, if I buy this thing, 26 cents, put my stop loss here. And I was investing, so I was like, all right, okay, 25% to the downside. And at least to the top of this triangle, it was supposed to be 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 trade. It's supposed to be like 25, 30% to the upside. And that's investing, right? You do that, and if you're confident. I kind of bought at a weird spot, but it's because I felt the momentum on the charts, unlike when I looked at all the charts, and you were going up. And then I bought it, made money, and I sold it. That's trading. Gotta pay your taxes, right? So, you know, now where are we though? We're not in this wedge thing anymore. Now we're in a different pattern. It's different now. There's a trend line here. It's a descending triangle pattern. That's kind of not good. Okay, so this coin is not, I'm not excited to buy this thing right now, but we'll keep tracking it. Keep tracking it. The only thing that's holding me again are these upside down head and shoulders. They're here. It's just we're not maximum low volume. I mean low value, but it's here. Okay. So if we're gonna get bullish continuation, all right, 65% to the upside. Now it's just a matter of is this thing gonna happen again? Because this looks like this, right? A big pullback. And once you start the uptrend again, it might break out. So maybe. That's like the story of every altcoin. Unless we go up, we're going to go down in the market. So we need to wait till we find a bottom in this market condition. All right, I'm going to keep trying to go faster here. CRV in a linear chart is in an ascending triangle pattern. So CRV I'm watching very closely. Because what do we know happens with ascending triangle patterns? Sometimes you get the fake out breakout and it comes back down to support. So I missed that support in August. I missed this trade because I don't really like to trade the very low liquidity stuff. But now this is getting my attention because like, wait a second. This is an ascending triangle. This is a textbook ascending triangle. You could measure this thing 100%. That's why it's important. 100% to 700%. So that's $4 to $14 target. The first target is 100% here, right? So this is not as good as Shiba Inu. When Shiba Inu was like this, that's extremely powerful. But this is like textbook. So we could either go up. It reminds me of like CEI stock. You know what I'm saying? If are we gonna break out? If we do, nice. Retest and boom, probably next target is like $5-6. If not, we're gonna pull back down to like 240. Right. So there's two spots to buy CRV. Somewhere down here. Right. And again, this is under the assumption that the market is not going to crash. This is under the assumption that we are not going down. Okay. Long term. If we end up crashing for whatever reason, right, pandemic or economy, Federal Reserve stops, what is it, supporting the stock market and the whole market and Bitcoin crashes, we're screwed, right? But if not, you can get a long setup right here, 216, or you can get a long setup at 350. Those are the only two spots on a longer term chart, except the breakout is always risky. If I'm going to buy a breakout setup, it needs to be powerful. A lot of power. I'm talking about bull moves, huge green volume. I want to see huge green volume, huge green moves. Retest that, then be like, okay, maybe I'll long at 360. But in the middle of the patterns, like, it's kind of chop zone. It is uptrend, but it can pull back down here to $2. So just depends. As a long bull, I always want the best value. So CRV, okay. Let me just write this here in text. Ascending triangle pattern possible. And we'll just leave this here in big words so we don't forget that. Okay, Zilliqa. Zilliqa is different. Zilliqa was an uptrend and downtrend, but this is like every altcoin. Basically, the story is we might be able to go up on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin keeps going up, all altcoins going up to the resistance. But if Bitcoin comes down, we are coming down to support. That's why you have to always draw the lines. And then now trend, boom. We hit that trend line, tightening range. Okay, same story. But what would be significant to me is if we lose this trend line, the 8 cents, ooh, that's bad. We're in trouble on Zilliqa. If we break it, very good. Then the target comes into play. Somebody asked me for QTUM already. So the only thing with QTUM, again, is it cup and handle? If it is, that'll be huge. That's 2,000%. So maybe like 5 years from now. Or 3 years from now, maybe. Right? So it's not impossible. But the shorter term target for the upside down head and shoulders is 200% smaller target. But just going right here to 29, okay, is the bullish target for QTUM right here. So here we go, just like that. Okay, so you want to watch out for any potential downside supports at like $10. QTUM, suspicious. If it's going to be true, we really need to break out at 25. But there's a short term like M double top right here at 1540. So QTUM's a little bit of battle right now. See that? The blue resistance horizontal line right here. We need to do this. Break out. Power. Bulls. Okay, Sushi coin. Sushi. What I was drawing for somebody last time is you already had the retracement back up to resistance. Too bad I missed this trade, right? Because it's like 2,000% profit. It's just absolutely phenomenal. But those days are over. So we don't FOMO. I'm not gonna go all in now because it's not time. On the chart, it's not telling me do it. because you have this triangle setup. That's just consolidation going to the side. So you could just Fibonacci this thing. Just holding. That's 618. Same story. If we come down, probably coming down to like 690. That'll be a better support area because if this goes like that or even 390, right? Because I'm presuming here people are trying to make more than like 2%. If someone's a leveraged crypto day trader, then fine. Someone can make like 1, 2, 3% on leverage and try to make like 4, 6, 8% or 10%. But if somebody has like $1,000 crypto trading account, you need or we need more than 10%. You have to start thinking about like swing trading, medium term length trading, not investing. If someone's an investor, then you got to wait for your pocket aces, um, super powerful, your best chart setup of all time, which is right here. But not everyone, even I didn't want to touch sushi coin back then. So I missed this trip, but oh well, whatever. Just move on. Right? Because we had Shiba Inu just like this month. That was a 300%. Beautiful. All right. ENJ. ENJ. All right. So ENJ is interesting because I can already see the weekly pattern, right? Boom, up, boom, like that. So it's trying to hold the support level above $1 and see if we could break $3. That could happen 6 months from now, 3 months from now, maybe just a month from now. So I would really watch out for this trend line because now established a pivot point. It bounced off of that, but it's tightening. Okay. If you don't want to use that, you could use these lines like this, like that. It's always tricky though to forecast on a day chart because sometimes you need the 4 hour, sometimes you need a little bit of RSI, 10% or 20% of the time, EMAs. But I'm trying to show people if you're really, really good at TA on day charts, you have discipline and patience, like you can make money swing trading crypto. You just have to buy at the right time. Like ICX, what's the best time to buy? What's your pocket aces best setup? Right there. That is a textbook bullish pattern staring me in the face on the chart. Right? That's why you have to study and know what this is. Double bottom support. If you don't even know what that is, boom, right here, support level. Measurable, very powerful, 40 to 80% to upside, and we basically hit that on this candle. This is a beautiful setup. This is like Ethereum. But where are we in time right now? See, you don't have that bullish setup right now. It's almost turning into this resistance. So longing ICX right now is not the best place to do it as a swing trader. It's not. It's so high already. Right? You want to get some kind of value. So the earliest value is maybe like $1.78 or $1.78. Right? Or like a $2. Actually it is $2 right now. But $1.78 probably or $1.62. Earliest. But when you get massive discount, see, we went from a double top like that, double top price pattern to a double bottom. These are textbook patterns. You only have to wait 4 months. Here, I got the market here. I got back in the market here. I just didn't trade ICX though. But I bought cryptos here. But I knew like this pattern was setting up for 3 months, and ICX had a double bottom breakout of its neckline, and it's gonna go crazy up rally. That's why you got to study. And it doesn't take, on a day chart, uh, this thing was forming for almost 2 months, this pattern. Very powerful. So that's something you want to memorize. Highly recommend that. Like on Mana, Decentraland, right? There's no double bottom down there. There's a head upside down head and shoulders that support. But you see, if you flip back between ICX and like other stuff, other coins, see, ICX looks really, really obvious. Okay? I just want to make that clear to people. So a lot of times in crypto, traders are going to buy the obvious pattern, is what I'm trying to say. So if you see one of those in the future, I would buy it if you're a bull. So Mana, and in the sideways triangle right here. Again, there's no super clear pattern that I'm seeing, so hands off this trade. There was the double bottom here on Bitcoin. That's how I knew to get back into Bitcoin right there, double bottom. On the charts, this takes a little more experience, but you can see it when it goes. It's like going up and down, up and down. It makes a pattern. Down and up makes a pattern. So this one just kind of stuck in there, so I'm just going to skip it. Zcash. Zeke, I can already see the sideways consolidation happening on the charts. How are we on time? Almost 3 hours. All right, so I'm going to end soon. Sideways consolidation. Just watch for that breakout. Okay, I'm going to end. I'm just going to. So comp is in a downtrend. Dash bounced up. One, again, had a beautiful double bottom pattern. Boom. Not as clear as ICX, but you can see here, this is textbook stuff here. If you study TA, this is like the middle of the book. First, you have to learn candles, though. Okay, if you don't even know what candles are, then you like that's the first thing you should learn. Price candles. Okay, because you can, as a trader, you have to know price candles on the day chart because that gives you an advantage over the market. So what do I mean by this? Right here. Even in the pandemic crash, which was absolute insanity in the crypto market, um, you can still call these patterns. So candlestick, Japanese candlestick patterns. Turn the volume off on a day chart. What do we have here? We'll start from right here, from top to the bottom of the market. Okay, so we have the first red day in the yellow. That's a bullish engulfing pattern. Then you have this continuation pattern, which is doji, but then you have this hammer. But this is a 3 black crows. Now you're in a triple bearish pattern. Try to have a hammer candlestick, try to bounce up, fail, bullish engulfing, down, doji, shooting star, hammer. So this is these are consolidation sideways candles. Indecision, bullish engulfing, resistance, doji, failure, massive bullish engulfing candle, loss of support. So you see what I mean? Is like you can, if you know what you're doing in the market, you have to just execute your knowledge. Okay, then you have a 3 black crows again pattern. Then you have another loss of support here and a bullish engulfing pattern. Then you have a inside bar, which is a potential reversal signal, right? Inside bar doji, bullish continuation, doji candle, indecision, one pullback, 1 day pullback. You have a larger shooting star, but then a bullish engulfing. So this is that continuation, right? Then you have hammer candle, but it's fine, hanging man. And then you finally get the doji, but you get an evening star, triple candle reversal pattern, and it's down, right? So that's how you know you gotta get good with candles, because candles equals the price. So if you don't know how to read candles, you do not know how to read the price. So you have to learn candles if you want to get good at TA, and you can apply those candlestick patterns in like all the time frames, but the daily pattern is the most powerful. Like longer term, weekly is powerful too. And then when you get over here, right, in March 21, how do I know we're kind of topping out? Is because we're hitting this resistance zone. We have a shooting star here. We have a large shooting star. We have candle upper bottom candle wicks. And getting stuck at this resistance, losing momentum, double top. Okay, here we go, downtrend. And then how do we time the bottom of the market? It's not perfect. It's very hard. It's very difficult. But you can start to see here a large bullish engulfing candle. Okay, first off, before candles, it's good to draw the support and resistance. I'll show you why. You drew this trend line down here. That's how you know this is the relative bottom spot. More higher chance, right? If you don't draw that, then you don't know. It's hard. It's just floating in space. But if you draw that, you know, oh, okay, wait, there's a support here. And then you have the trend line on the top. That's your top side target. also resistance breakout setup, right? So then when you start getting into this zone, it's like, okay, bullish. We lost that support, the blue line, bullish engulfing candle, doji candle, but doji, okay. And then a bullish engulfing candle, boom, topping out, pull back, and then the trend reverses up. Right? So some people I know are like, who cares about this? Like, no, no, no. This is what makes or breaks you as a trader. You don't know this, probably not going to win that much. And I'm just telling the real truth, okay? I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. It's just there are people who know this and there are people who don't. So you want to be the person who knows, is all I'm saying. So here we go. We have a trend line on this side, trend line on Harmony, and boom, like this. Hit that resistance zone. And we are uptrending on this side. It seems to be make that higher high so we could pull back to like 19 cents. Right here. And then how do we read the candles with support and resistance? Resistance 26, support 20 cents. Now what are we doing? Okay, we had an inside bar here, attempted hammer bounce, shooting star, downtrending, 3-3 black crows into a doji candle right now. So this is not looking so great for Harmony. We could pull back. But why did Harmony go up? Because if I'm very careful and I know my patterns right here, there's an ascending triangle pattern staring me in the face right here. This is why. See, people know. Swing traders saw this. They were getting ready for this setup. When you have 3 series of higher lows and a flat top like that, that's an ascending triangle pattern. That this is 100% the reason why Harmony Coin went up. Okay, you could say fundamentals, but it's like, why did this thing go right here at 9 o'clock then? Because somebody saw the pattern. Big hedge fund, 26% to 50%, so 26% for the breakout. Boom, in one day. Target hit, almost hit 50% second target. That's how we do technical analysis as a trader. You gotta hunt for this. You have to be able to get good. That's why I'm telling people you have to draw. Make sure you draw on your charts, right? Because if you just look at it and you're looking at it like this, and you're looking at it like this, like, oh, nothing's happening, right? If you look at RSI, like, oh, nothing's happening. But it's like, no, no, no. You have to get way ahead of other people. Something's always happening in the market because you have to figure out, are we going down or up? This pattern is saying we're going up, regardless of what RSI says, right? Although there was a little bit of momentum right here. So if someone's really sensitive to charts for 8 hours straight, there's like a little buy signal right there because it's support, golden cross up. It's a market open time, 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, right? So this is American session, and then Asian session, European session really, really took off. Okay, so that's how to really, really get some setups going on. But the head and shoulders right here, pattern, that's bearish. We're still trying to barely hold on 21 cent support. Okay, so you can see here now that this triangle pattern is over, and now we're in a new pattern. This is why you have to draw. Here in a descending triangle pattern, bull flag, descending. Then you can measure this, plus or minus 15%. So 50% to downside is 18 cents. So if we lose this support, shorts are going to love that. They're going to short that down all weekend. Have fun doing that, right? But if we're going to break out as a bull, 15% to the upside, right? 25 cents back in play. That's why we use patterns. And you'll see people on other streams, they're doing these patterns all day long. 15 minutes, this is how you make money or you don't make money. That's why I purposely do not use a lot of indicators because I know that's where everybody starts. But, if you're a real technical analyst, you got to learn support, resistance, trend, and patterns. Because the indicators, they tell you momentum. Right here, this is momentum. Right? Like, are we going to swing up or are we going to swing down? We're going up, we're going down. Right? But the price pattern is get you the target and the general can override this, right? If you just look at RSI, like how are you, unless you have a certain strategy, right? This is not really the greatest buy signal in here in the purple, right? Alone. Or even here on the EMA is like, okay, I guess you could buy this. There are signals in here, but I'm saying for beginner though, right? But the bigger probability was this. That's what I'm trying to tell people. No indicators needed. But you have to draw it though. You have to find it. OMG. All I'll say is we're holding resistance up here on the top side. Okay, so as long as we hold that resistance, we should be okay. But if it doesn't, we could pull back all the way down to lower part of support like 1250. Watch out. Okay, I'm just gonna skip the rest because we're going super long, going too long. I basically did all of them. I guess only two. So maker, triangle like that, right? HNT, NOG, and waves has a trend line. Some of these look all the same, so that's why I'm just skipping it. But waves has double top right here. Want to watch out for that in the resistance. Okay. All right. So I know it went really long today. Thanks so much, everybody, for hopping on for crypto. But it's because for a whole month, I'm focusing on stock earnings. So I'm not going to be able to stream Monday through Fridays, Friday morning, because I'm full time stocks and crypto trader. So we have earnings season, corporate earnings for 5 more weeks. Okay, so that's why expect some volatility in the market and the news. And I'm going to end on stocks just really fast. So I have my ideas here. These are free ideas I published on TradingView. And for S&P 500, okay, this is where I stopped. We're at the trendline resistance right here. The trendline resistance. Okay. And then we fast forward, and what happened? We turned into an upside down head and shoulders on SPY. I probably should have told people about this on Discord, but next time if it happens, I'll make sure to let people know about it. But we had upside down head and shoulders here. But at least I said we're going to try to hold the support level above like 431 or 433, I believe, like right down here. Right? I said bullish scenario, price breaks above 441 to 444. So where's 441? The top of this candle wick, right? And we hit 444, 445. So if somebody just used my bullish idea, we know once we close above this candle right here on October 7th, boom, we're up another percent. If someone wants big trend supports, so I said supports all right here. These are potential entries, right? Or just levels of support. So where do we come down to? 435, 433, 431, and then where did I say? Right here. The first two would have been good, right? So this upside down head and shoulders is good, but we have tech earnings and some travel earnings starting next week. So I want to watch out for that. But the fact that we broke out of this downward trend is very good, very good. But at some point, we're going to pull back. Okay, so I have to pull the chart up for this, not just talk. So what am I saying? Is we had this upside down head and shoulders. That's bullish. Also double bottom here. So I went long stocks right here. I said it on stream last time. I met several positions open. So right here, like that. Upside down head and shoulders. Boom. We can go a little higher. Go one more day up if possible. Like 2.5%. That would bring us to the all-time high. That's a little bit of a stretch. So here's where I would look into some RSI. We are getting into the overbought territory on the top side. Yeah. So I'm anticipating on Monday, we might see 1 day of pullback before earnings. Netflix is, and then Tesla earnings on Tuesday, Wednesday. So again, this is swing traders paradise right here of when you find the support level, you buy. When you find the resistance level, you sell, right? In stocks and day trading. Because I remember I said right here, there's on the stream, I said, it looks like it wants to pull back right here. That's why I started telling people about support. and we come back about 50%, we bounce up. There's momentum, right? That's how we do it. Okay, QQQ. We'll just finish up with these three. QQQ. Here's the analysis that I wrote down. We're still under trendline resistance. I said watch for the pullback here. And then in the bullish scenario, we might go up to the right side. So what happened? Right there. Where's our levels? For 358, 356. Did I write this down? Close enough. 360. 353 is a little low. But this general range. Visually, I was looking somewhere right here. I probably should have wrote 356, but oh well. Right? 360 still. We lost 360, boom, here, but then we regained 360 and went up. Okay, so this, if you understand trend, is a pivot point trend. Now we broke out of this resistance. The question is, how high can we go before pulling back to retest the top of this triangle? This thing's not over. That's why you have to leave your drawings on here, right? You have a little rounding. This could be a dirty upside down head and shoulders or just trend reversal. Might go up for one day, doji candle, reverse back down to 363, right? Because if it's textbook trend, it has to come down. Bitcoin's different. Bitcoin just likes to do that. Just go up. Okay, we're going up, and everyone jumps in Bitcoin. But stocks is different. It's a different pacing. The Dow Jones, and we'll just get this going. Dow Jones, similar concept. Keep in mind, it's not just the technicals. It's not that, oh, there's a chart set up and that it's 100% going to work. No, this is all earnings reaction. So if you're new to stocks, 4 times a year, 3 times a year, there's corporate stock earnings. And what that means is every single company in the stock market reports and announces their financial numbers. So the earnings per share, revenue, gross revenue, sales numbers, right? Just on the basic top level. Everyone does that at the same time, like in the same 1 month period. That's why it's crazy. Busy right now. Okay, so we're on week 2 of that. So we had good earnings. JP Morgan, Citibank, Wells Fargo helped keep us alive. The earnings, right? And then we're up 3 days in a row. This could be considered some kind of 3 white nights almost. Candlestick pattern. But Dow Jones is different because, again, remember the W double bottom. It's very subtle, but it was here. I kept pointing this out on stream. Like, hey, there's something here. And then we have momentum. And I kept saying we have this upside down head and shoulders on the RSI. We're probably going to go up. It just took a while for us to go up. It took like a week. But as swing trader, this is how I made money in stocks, because I did the analysis well. And earnings, I protected myself on downside. I had stop losses under here just in case we crashed down to here 335, but it didn't. Good earnings. This one day was a little sketchy, but we ended up and we kept going up. That's how you make money in the market. You have to buy at relative low support levels. This is not the most perfect example. Let me give one good example before we end. So stocks is like, it means like Apple, because that's one of the most liquid stocks ever. It's the biggest stock, right? So Apple, I remember back in May, there's this setup that I traded, and take log scale off. And we're looking at from pandemic low to pandemic high right here. There was this large like wedge pattern happening here like this. You see that? So when I knew this higher low was established, I went long Apple right here, right there. So, and I sold Apple up here. Okay, how did I know to do that? Just experience in the charts. Experience, knowledge, skills, ability, whatever you want to call it, is you have to know what to do and what not to do. You have to have strategy set up. You have, all I had to do is draw 2 lines and I understand the pattern. Also, it was like a sideways double bottom. You see this? There's so many things happening. Once you know the knowledge and skills, is you could make money in the market, but you need patience. Most people, they don't want to swing trade because it takes too much time, right? It's like, I don't want to wait 30 days. That's ridiculous. right? People want to wait 2 minutes, microwave style. It's like you want to put your money in, microwave it, and you get more money out. It's like sometimes it doesn't always work like that. You know what I mean? Like the stock market's a different animal. It works at a different speed. So swing trading the stock market's different than crypto. But there was a setup here, and now you see that like this, you know, you're up here consolidating. It tried to break out. See this? It tried to break out and failed. And failed. So when it fails, you want to run away from that, right? Like stop loss or get out of the trade. So once I started seeing this, I'm like, it's maybe gone. We fail. I'm done. I'm out. It's not working. You have to have that kind of discipline. But what was nice in the market for Apple is the beautiful upside down head and shoulders, just like Bitcoin. And when we didn't quite hit our target, so options traders, we were anticipating this breakout before earnings at the end of the month. But the point I want to make is if somebody's along and they're green in the market, support is your best friend. You have to fall in love. Excuse me. You have to fall in love with support. Okay. And if you're a bear, if you're trying to go short, then you want to resistance is your best friend. Okay. That's why I keep talking about support and resistance every single stream that I talk about. Because if you do not understand support, resistance, and trend and price patterns, candlesticks, those are like the 4 or 5 fundamental pillars of technical analysis, then charting becomes almost impossible, right? And I love indicators. I love TradingView. It's so amazing. But you need to know how to use the tools, is what I'm saying. All these tools on the left side, the price, the indicators, all that, over time, if you study, you'll learn that. But the first thing is price. You can chart this stock without any indicators. Some old school guys do it that way, like really old school people, um, before indicators were a thing, is they do it this way. And the beauty is you can measure the pattern, right? So if I see this, it's like 11% possibility on the left side. And how much do we go? We went double the pattern, 25%. That's why options trader longs, we love that. It just takes a longer time than crypto. Crypto, this would have happened in like 4 days, right? But stocks, it closes, so you need triple the time. Crypto market's open 24 hours a day. Stock market is not. So there's difference. But I remember this. Also, you could see this triangle here. I remember drawing the triangle, so I bought the triangle breakout. And I was like, okay, thinking I could do 3% stop loss, conservative, and my price target was the top of the triangle. And I just execute that trade. I made money, and I'm done. Made money, and I'm done. That trade is over. Next setup. Right? That's how traders think on different time frames. Next setup. So, okay. I know I went 3 hours and I did things in reverse today, but I hope this stream helped you in some way. Hope you learned something or just, got something out of the TA, the technical analysis. Again, I am a full-time crypto trader and stock trader. And so my next stream will be next weekend. We have week 2 of stock earnings coming up. We have Netflix, Tesla, Johnson & Johnson, a bunch of companies as well, big companies coming up. So just kind of expect volatility in stocks and crypto over the next month. Thanks so much for watching and joining. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch right now. If you want to join my free Discord, go ahead. I put out a little free weekly watch list of items I think that are important. And if I ever find like an amazing stock or crypto chart, I might share that on the Discord. But that weekly watch list is there to just calibrate people. Because usually what I'm saying on the weekly watch list usually comes true on the technical analysis. So I hope everybody is learning something. And Yeah, I'm thinking eventually, probably next year though. I'll probably open up a paid service next year of like chart setups or group. But for now it's free. What I'm doing in there, and I'm probably gonna start giving like chart setups and like educational courses and stuff. That's like the general plan for next year. But until then, if somebody like really has a lot of questions and wants to ask me a lot of things, like I do paid coaching as well. So if you just want to like ask me 50 questions in a row, we could do that in 1 hour. Um, but until then, I'm just gonna keep it on free Discord and free Trading View ideas, um, just to like help point people in the right direction. All right, everyone. So that's it for today. I went super long. So until next time, hope you have a great weekend and week. And always remember, let's try not to FOMO on any trade. See you next time. Thanks. Bye.